This is the F1 show with James and Michael. Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Did you get your all day pack?
I'm still waiting. I guess the queue is stopped. I got some like 11,000 numbers, so didn't get in very quickly.
Well, I hope you got better luck than I did. I got like 379 or something, and then it took me like 15 minutes to get through the queue. And once I did, it asked for the two factor, so I had to walk over and get my phone and come back and got the text and put it in, and then it says you got this big message saying pack is not available. Pack has been sold. So it
Ah,
says click here to go back and retry. So or it says refresh to retry, refreshed, got same error 3, 4 times. Then it said if you continue to get this error, you may have to re-enter the queue. So I said, okay. I took a screenshot of it too. And I re-entered the queue and now I'm at 23,000 and then the line got paused. So I don't know what's going on. I sent a thing over to the all day support and hopefully they will resolve it. Usually Dapper's pretty good about these things, about making these things good when these errors happen. So that's my guess, though. That's why the line is paused. I may not be the only person who ran into this.
yeah,
So
yeah,
something happened. I was surprised he gave me the two factor because that's not something I normally get. Because I really was logged in. Because I was logged in, I couldn't get in the queue. So there may be a bug there somewhere on the two factor that may have caused this. But I wish everybody luck that's in line, and congratulations to those who've already gotten a pack. If you got a Tom Brady, I think Mike is coming up at the top of the next hour with Dustin. I think they're going to do a little reunion and maybe rip a pack if they've been able to get one. But reason we're here, yeah, good to hear it. Yeah, yeah, afraid that it just might be a bug in the system, so they may have to redo the queue or something. Don't know, whatever all it is. Like I said, Dapper's usually good about making people whole in these things. So
yep.
let's keep our fingers crossed it gets worked out in a positive way. But we're here to talk about Formula One, the worldwide phenomenon in sport. So we've had it's been very. I mean, the one thing that I found to be the most interesting, I think you kind of agreed when we were talking on Twitter, is that for the off season they really haven't abided much by off season as far as news. But let's start
Yeah,
with let's start a little bit of review of how we got here so far with the F1 season. So I mean, it's been an interesting season. It's been a action packed season. I think the 2022 cars have certainly been better as far as people overtaking. That doesn't
the
mean
new regs
Monaco.
are
Yeah, go ahead.
the new regs are working, definitely.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's a great way to sum it up. Exactly, they are working as intended. It seems like there's been some interesting choices and designs of people that have tried to, push the boundaries of the envelope they've been given for the design work. But again, that's one of the great things about F1. You've got some of the smartest people in the world that work in there, and
Yeah,
they will find the boundaries.
smartest people in the world looking how to bend the rules. So,
No, exactly. Well, there's an old line from NASCAR that says if it says if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And that was
uh,
because NASCAR used to have a lot of people that would bend the rules on stuff. They had this guy who when they put in fuel restrictions, he created this super long fuel filler that could hold like a gallon and a half or 2 gallons extra of fuel when they start putting in limited size fuel tanks. So he figured they could get, and somebody, I don't know if someone ratted him out or if one of the inspectors found the problem and they could look, the thing snaked all over the car, all around the fuel area, so they could hold an extra 2 gallons or so of fuel in there. But
yeah,
yeah, but there's interesting things like that. I don't know how it works in F1, but I'm sure there's interesting interpretations on the F1 design rules, and that's what's led us to these very interesting. Because there was a concern coming into the season that the cars were all going to be pretty much cookie cutter lookalikes, and when they showed up in Bahrain, that was turned out to be not the not the thing. They were quite unique cars, and there were lots of different approaches to the design elements and the spaces they were able to use that were blocked. They were not blocked off or were blocked off in the 22 regs.
yeah. But we've seen at least three families of design that are uh, slowly converging, maybe to two. And we knew it's gonna be like that. There's gonna be like some winning design that people will start move towards, but they're definitely not a cookie cutters, and that's really cool to see.
Yeah, no, it's great. and especially with the rear wing, the way that they've set those rules to limit the air, the wash of air, and to make clean the air up, as you say, aerodynamically going over the rear wing. So that's why people are able to pass now, is because you couldn't before, with the air was so quote unquote dirty aerodynamically, you couldn't get any grip and you couldn't get close to the cars. Now they've cleaned that up. I think there was a number they were targeting, like 70% reduction in dirty airflow over the rear wing, and the way they've changed the wing now, this really seems to have done that. I mean, races like Monaco and Hungary didn't turn out to be pass fests, but they were still better than they had been. People, they weren't stuck. If you were in 17th, you didn't spend the whole race in 17th other than pit stop strategies. So that
Yep.
was good in those races. Again, those races aren't going to really, the tracks are the limiting factor in those races for the most part. But it did promote a lot of passing in places we don't traditionally see passing on tracks. So I think it's been great for that. Um, so at this point, we've got 4 wins for Ferrari, 9 wins for Red Bull, and those are the only 2 teams that have been able to win this year. No one is really, I don't know. What do you think, Michael? Do you think anyone? I don't feel that anyone's really sniffed a victory other than those 2 teams at this point.
Yeah, like Mercedes got second maybe 1 or 2 times, and out of the 3 teams, like the teams, only Lando Norris was on a podium. So that's even, shows like how consolidated the top is pretty much. So I'm not sure we're gonna see anybody winning this year from outside of this group, because it doesn't look like so, unless it's gonna be some bonkers race, which statistically happens every year at
Yeah,
least
we're
once.
due for
So
one. We haven't had really a bonkers race yet. We didn't have a Hungary
yeah,
from last year yet, and
yeah,
that's I think I would say you're correct on. I mean, I would agree with you on that. I do have faith though that there will be a bonkers race somewhere, maybe Singapore, because it's going to be a tight track and the ability to take out a lot of cars, or someone to spin and block a whole bunch of cars. And someone sneaks through from like eighth or something, maybe on the start or something screwy like that. I really do. I mean, I really do enjoy the bonkers ones. Unfortunately, I mean, I like the chaos factor, and I think someone might win just because of that. But you're right. I don't think any of those teams, and I'm not even sure Mercedes can, on speed alone, win a race this year. I think it's pretty much Red Bull and Ferrari. So unless the Ferraris blow up or they all wind up in 18th and 19th because of engine penalties, and Max gets crashed on the first lap, and Perez has a problem, yeah, I don't expect us to see anyone outside of Ferrari and Red Bull winning in this year. Merck has done a good job solidifying third in the constructors race so far, but Toto and them, they're not, that's not a victory for them. They want to be number one or nothing, so they're going to be continue to push hard. Do you think they're going to get to the point this year where they're going to be able to win a race?
I don't know. They're like steadily going up,
Mm-hmm.
and if Ferrari continues their master strategy plans, they may allow them win pretty much. If Red Bull is not there that day, Mercedes may be able to scoop it up, but I don't think they're like in the place to win it on pure speed. And I don't know, pull off like Verstappen in Hungary when he basically won from the 10th place, which was just pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid dominance as far as the ability to basically come from back in the pack on in that race. Which is interesting because again, that's a track you don't normally think of people being able to do that on with passing. Yeah, I'm not sure if they can. I have a hunch they might win one towards the end of the season, especially if the driver's title gets settled quickly and maybe the constructors does too, where Red Bull may be testing some stuff for 2023 on the car. Somewhere where they have the fast car. Ferrari, Ferrari, and we're going to talk about a little bit more, but Ferrari has pretty much been killed by reliability problems, especially on the engine. It's a fast engine when it doesn't blow itself apart, and they're going to be taking lots of engine penalties going on as we progress in the year. So you can see a race where maybe Red Bull just isn't on the top of their game with the change they put on. Ferrari starts from the back. Merck, gets maybe 2 and 3 on the grid for the pole, for the starting grid. They, very well they could, pass Perez or Max or something and win a race maybe in Bahrain or Qatar or one of those. So that's
Yeah.
possible towards the end of the season when this is all established. Or again, the bonkers factor is still there too. But I think that I'm sure if anybody's trying, those guys are putting in the most hours. I would think just trying to get back to where they are because They're used to being at the top of the pack. Um, I know that it's disappointing to them, but I would have to think that with the mindset they have, that they enjoy the challenge in a sense. I mean, they would prefer the challenge to be a faster car at number one, but I think they enjoy the challenge to a point to try to make that car faster. And now it's like, okay, now we're just not out in front trying to set the pace. Now we've got to come back and show that we really are this talented of an engineering team to go out there and basically, fix a car that wasn't, that we didn't have all of the answers to it at the design phase when we got to the, first race of the year.
And I think I also noticed like a change of mindset with Lewis. Like first few races, you can see him like clearly demotivated by the pace, but now and I think he sniffed there like getting closer. You can see like he's like, he's on the hunt now, and it's always fun to see Lewis being on the hunt. He's really good in this situation when you have to like chase somebody, and so I'm looking forward to second part of the season, Mercedes being even closer, because that's just gonna make a better spectacle.
No,
Uh,
absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I agree with it. I was beginning to wonder if this didn't turn around for Mercedes, was Lewis going to decide, I got 7 world titles. Yeah, thought I had an 8th last year, and I'd like that 8th to be the GOAT without a question, to be tied, to break the tie with Schumacher.
yeah,
But, the car's not competitive. I don't foresee us winning. Probably not going to win the world title. Is 2023 going to be any better? I got lots of interest outside of this. Do I want to keep doing this if the car's not going to be competitive? But I agree. I do have seen a much different turn in him since then, since they have become close to becoming competitive. That now he's like, okay, it's kind of like almost in a sense rallying the team, like, let's keep going, let's make a
yeah,
little more improvement, let's make a little more improvement, let's get a little bit better. There's 2023. We can make the car, we can fix all this stuff in
yeah.
23, but he's getting podiums now occasionally. They're definitely top 5 when it comes to qualifying. So
He
yeah, I
has
think, yeah, go ahead.
Lewis Hamilton has now more podiums than Charles Leclerc, which is a crazy stat when you think about this.
Yeah, no, it is, considering the car, considering the pure speed differential of those two. So you
Yeah,
get, definitely shows who the, who the best driver is, if there was any question
yeah,
on that. But yeah, but I do think he's going to stick around for 2023 now. And George is, I mean, I think in a car that's certainly been difficult, you have to say that George has made a good first impression. Though I always had a lot of faith in him. I thought he was going to be, pretty fast
yeah,
right out of the start with Mercedes.
yeah, definitely. And it's nice he get a chance to show it now. And I think he also has this kind of experience driving not so great car. So this gives him a bit of like I think he had like a bit of like he wasn't so demotivated by this in the beginning, and just pushed forward, and it was very good to see.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And,
Mm.
and you're exactly right on that. Yeah, the Williams has been a tough car to drive, and it certainly hadn't been a car. He dragged that car farther up the grid than it probably deserved to be when he was there. And then Albon's done a pretty good job this year. I'm sure they've made some steps forward in the aerodynamics and and the design of the car. But Albon certainly has outclassed Latifi in almost every race except I think 1 or 2 maybe
Yeah,
this year. So he certainly is, which is good. I'm glad to see that he's getting, being able to show his talent, because he did have a tough time at Red Bull, and you can question whether he was treated fairly at Red Bull or not when he got booted, for Perez at the end of 2020. But it's good to see him back, and I'm glad to see he's got an opportunity, even if it is Williams, and he's, like you said, he's doing better than that car probably should be doing it sometimes.
yeah.
Absolutely. So basically, in the drivers race, we've got Verstappen up about a little about 80 points or 75 points on Leclerc. It's 258 to 178, with Perez right there in third with 173, Russell fourth 158, and Lewis and Sainz right behind him at 156, and Lewis right behind him at 153. So Lewis is certainly within reaching distance of both Russell and Sainz. It's pretty well, stacked there
He's
for the top for 4, 5, and 6.
he started catching up because in the beginning he was a bit behind, but yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and
chasing.
yeah, and of course Leclerc would be a lot closer to Perez if his engine, or to Verstappen if his engine was reliable. But then again, remember Red Bull didn't start out strong. Ferrari was dominant in the first few weeks, and I think
Yeah,
that Verstappen was down like 45 or 50 points at
Yeah.
one point to Leclerc after like 3 races or so.
Yeah, after Australia, I think it was. It looked like it was like a clean slate Ferrari season,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
Max is even starting to look a little dejected at sometimes. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and then just Red Bull figure out their issues with reliability, and Ferrari wasn't maybe very strong on the strategy in many cases. Under pressure, Leclerc make a couple mistakes, and all those things started like adding up, and Red Bull started just chipping those points away, and now they're in the opposite position. Now they're leading with a huge margin, but it also shows that it's like it can be still turned around. We were like just past the half of the season. There's still like 8, 9 races to go, so anything can still happen, and let's hope Ferrari will get this stuff together. As you said, the engine reliability and the fact that they'll need to start picking penalties will be definitely detrimental to them. But let's hope it's gonna be like maybe equal fight to the end, because uh, it's never like a fun season when it's like in 2/3 we know who's gonna be like both championship, and it's just like formality.
Yeah, well, no, I remember the year that Schumacher won his world title in July. I think it was the end of
Yeah,
July in the German Grand Prix. And it's like, well, now what? It's like let's see. Because I think that was a couple seasons after that they put in that funky double point race at the end to try to prevent that type of thing,
yeah,
which only lasted one season. That was one of those Bernie ideas that lasted one season. But yeah, no, yeah. I mean, like you can't beat last year for excitement. I mean, not only the last race, you're talking the last lap on the last race. But those
yeah,
are rare. That doesn't happen like that all the time. And very well, we could be looking at this year, a season where the title may be decided with 2, 3 races, left over or before the end of the season. But yeah, you can always hope that you know Ferrari really has been problematic, not just because of the engine problem, that we talked about, but also like you said, the strategy. They've had races they should have won that they did get to the end of the race at, where they shot themselves in the foot for one reason or another. And I mean, it got so bad. I remember Sainz in the French Grand Prix yelling at them, "Not now, not now!" They're trying to get him to pit when he's fighting Russell for third, and it's like, or
mm,
second. It was like, "Not now, not now!" And it's like, they're really, and it's odd because if you talk to, when you hear Badati talk, he's like, "No, no, we don't need to change our strategy, person. We're doing." It's like, do you have a self realization problem here or what? I
yeah.
mean,
Like
go ahead.
denial is strong. Denial is strong. And on the other hand, you have like Red Bull with Hannah Schmitz, their chief strategy, who basically like pulled the kind of master class on how to do strategy in Hungary. They started 10th. They didn't even have the fastest car, and they basically just pulled few bold moves, took initiative, and like Ferrari didn't respond to that, and they lost. And that was very interesting to see. So strategy is very important in Formula One, and for Ferrari need to look into this, because it's not only about the fast car; it's like the whole team effort, and they'll need to address those issues to be championship winning team.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it really is, and I don't know. I mean, that would be, not that I advocate this, but the best thing Ferrari could do would be to poach Hannah from Red Bull. That would, I don't know if I don't know anything about her. I don't know if she'd be willing to leave or not, but that would be a coup for them. Because yeah, she certainly seems to be the class of the field this year. I mean, Mercedes has always been very strong in the strategy side too, but they've had their own. I mean, not this year, but they've had their own faux pas with Lewis, where they've really kind of screwed up with Lewis. I remember Monaco couple years ago where they made him, where they basically screwed him up on the pit stop and stuff. They even, even Toto came out and said, "Hey, Lewis, our bad. Sorry, we screwed that one
Yeah,
up." But Red Bull
yeah,
seems to be. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. But the Red Bull also fumbles from time to time, so of course it happens. But
Yeah,
like statistically looking, it happens to them and also to Mercedes, not so often as it happens to Ferrari, and
yeah.
that's the problem.
I guess when you're in the spotlight, you're getting the exposure. I mean, who knows how bad, Alpine strategy might be at times, or Aston Martin, because when you're running 12th or 14th, or I mean, Alpine's Alpine, excuse me, is fourth in the constructor. So obviously they're running the top 10 a lot. But there's still times when they just don't get the exposure when they make a bad choice. The Ferrari one in Hungary was really bad because you knew, or it seemed like it was given that the strategy was going to be two pit stops. More than likely, it was going to be two yellows and a red was the choice because you need the two tires. When Ferrari came in for the first pit stop on yellows and went or mediums and went to mediums, I'm looking at him going, "What are you guys going to do now? Because you're stuck. You can't go back to the mediums again. You got to do red or hard, and you're going to either need to extend your stint to go run reds at the end. I know the car's getting lighter with the fuel burning off, but you're going to have to extend to get to reds. And if you go hards, those are already proven to be failures by the people that have tried it. So at that point, it was like, if you're not going red, I don't know what they're doing. And that was where I was looking at. I'm going, okay, you're already screwed up. I don't know
Yeah.
how you're going to fix this.
Yeah, and at this point when they put those hard on Leclerc, like everybody was like, "What are you doing?" Like
Yeah,
even everybody on Twitter was like, "Sure, it's a mistake," because we've seen already on Alpine and some other team trying hards, and they were like really really bad because the track was cold. It was a bit damp morning and so on, and they just didn't hit up enough to provide grip.
yeah. The track, like you said, the track was cold because it had rain and the track never got heat into it, and the drivers couldn't get heat into the tires. And it was multiple teams. I think Haas had a problem too with them, where they put Schumacher on them, and that just was a disaster. Or, both Schumacher and Magnussen on them, and they quickly came back in after a couple laps because it just didn't work. They were just not getting heat, and it might have been Aston Martin tried it too, and it was a I think Vettel might have tried it. It was a disaster. But yeah, it was like you knew that wasn't the right way to go. But whatever. Again, just another example of Ferrari strategy. It kind of makes you scratch your head about it. I wonder if they spent some time, rethinking some of their ideas, or maybe getting more people in the mix, maybe getting less people. Maybe it's a committee problem. Don't know. But yeah, if they're going to challenge for more wins, that's certainly going to be something they need to look at. Constructors battle. We've got Red Bull at 431, Ferrari at 340, 334. So roughly a 100-point difference there, which is going to be almost three complete races. The Red Bull's ahead, so you kind of got to think that's going to be, it's going to be tough. For Mercedes is 304, so they're only 30 points back. So they certainly can challenge. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Merck pass Ferrari by the end.
At
And
this
that's pretty.
pace, it's
Go ahead.
kind of gonna happen. Like at this pace, it's just
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Again, plus the engine penalties are going to start killing Ferrari towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
More and more of those are going to mean farther, more and more starts from the back of the grid. And then pretty much it drops off from there with fourth being Alpine at 99 and McLaren at 95. So that, those, they're going to sort that out for fourth. So pretty much the top three are pretty much guaranteed at this point, and how they finish is going to be, is going to matter. Certainly second and third are going to be a tough battle as we continue on. Um, one of the things that this year, Miha, anything else on the teams and far as strategy and as far as their performance, or anything you've seen that stood out to you this year, as for any of the teams so far?
I'm actually quite surprised how Alpine is doing well. Like uh, I didn't expect them to overtake McLaren. Like just before the season, from the start, we saw McLaren has problems both with one of their drivers, but also with the brakes and so on.
Hmm.
And this car is not very well balanced aerodynamically. And Alpine just used that occasion. They've been pretty consistent gathering points, and on some occasions car really fast. We've seen Fernando even qualified second once. So yeah, I'm surprised, but it's fun to see some shakeup in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's good to see a grid that's just not the same people at the front every time. I would have to say I'm a little disappointed in Aston Martin this year. Considering the amount of money that Senior Stroll is throwing at that, um, I'm surprised they're not getting more results. It takes time. I know. I mean, I remember when Toyota came in and threw all the money in the world at F1 and just threw money down a rat hole. Money isn't necessarily, money helps you win, but it's not the reason why you can win. And maybe it's going to take some more time. I know that I think they're building a new factory or adding a major
Yeah.
addition to their factory. So it may take a couple more years, but I was expecting to see Aston Martin at least stay steady, not fall down as far as they did. I mean, they're ninth, right? They're, I mean, Haas is ahead of them, and I know Haas has got, I know, I don't know if Gene Haas has more money than Lawrence Stroll does, but I know that Gene has a budget limit, and I don't think Lawrence does, other than what the
Yeah,
cap tells him. Because I know that Haas without a sponsorship is not spending the cap limit as far as I
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Um, so
yeah. Aston Martin was not doing great, and I think that was one of the reasons that Sebastian decided that it doesn't look like a great project. I can like carry myself around in the back or just go home and take care of my bees. So that's what he's
no,
chosen.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think it's a great segue to start talking about silly season because
Oh boy.
boy, oh boy, I didn't expect this summer to be so exciting contractual.
No,
Like,
no, I really didn't. I thought it was going to be kind of I was kind of thinking, going, man, there may not be, you know, I mean, before Vettel retired, it was like, man, it's possible there may not be anybody that changes teams other than, to me, the hottest seat. I mean, not the hottest seat, but the driver on the hot seat to me was Latifi.
yeah,
He was the only guy that looked like really in danger. Because Albon was making him look bad. His contract was up. There'd been some question, and Williams has said that, look, we've really improved our finances. We don't need pay drivers anymore, so we can get drivers that don't necessarily bring a check to the table, like Latifi does. His father is a billionaire, and yeah, I was surprised. I guess like, man, this could really be one of the slowest seasons for driver change because everyone was locked in, and those that weren't seemed like they were going to stay. I mean, there's a question that maybe Yuki may not have stayed at AlphaTauri, but it was looking like, yeah, this is just like going to be silly season. I wasn't even bringing the term up because it was like, no, I'm looking like an idiot because there may not be a silly season. And then Vettel decides, like you said, to tend to his bees, stay, spend more time with his family. And oh boy, did we get a torrent of insanity. Mihai, why
yeah.
don't you go ahead and talk about some of it? It's just nuts.
All right, cool. So just Vettel leaving or announcing a retirement, it just basically opened up some possibilities, right? We knew we were gonna be like maybe have some movement. Somebody will like, Aston Martin will have to find somebody else. Maybe somebody from IndyCar will come, wherever. Like, it's gonna be a one driver. And then on the morning or like early afternoon after the Hungarian Grand Prix, suddenly Fernando Alonso announces that he's moving to Aston Martin
Yep.
because he wanted like 2-year contract from Alpine. Alpine only wanted to give him 1-year contract because they have this like young gun Piastri waiting for his turn. So apparently Daddy Stroll offered 2-year contract and even more money, and Alonso felt like, why not? Like, he probably realizes he's not gonna be world champion anymore. He just enjoyed driving. He enjoys banter, and he just left. And apparently, on a Sunday afternoon, leaving the paddock after the race, he even told Otmar he haven't signed anything with anybody. But apparently, the deal was made on Saturday afternoon, even before the race. So in classic Alonso way, he just basically burned the bridges, didn't tell anybody, and just shocked the world. And that put everything into overdrive because now it feels it's actually good news for Alpine because now they don't have to decide. They don't have to like pick between Alonso and Piastri. That kind of makes it easy for them. So they make announcement, right? From they had to react to this news. They were kind of caught off guard, so they reacted from 2023. Oscar Piastri will be driving for Alpine, but the whole announcement was really weird because there was like no driver quote in there, and there usually is.
Yep.
And the timing is really weird because when you look at this, it's like 3 a.m. in Australia. Oscar is already back home for a summer break. So why would they announce it while he's asleep? And when Oscar woke up, he tweeted that it's all untrue. He's not gonna drive for Alpine in 2023. And they basically um, pushed that like announcement without him knowing. And that put like the F1 Twitter into like overdrive that day. It was such a fun day in terms of memes and commentary and everything that I haven't had for a long time.
Yeah,
But
no, it was but yeah, the driver quote part was interesting. By the way, this is the first day of the off season. This is the first day of the summer break. So it's not like they even got like a few hours of calmness before this dam of insanity broke and starts watching everyone. Because like one of the things, once Vettel retired, I mean that it wasn't completely out of the I know that I think it was Ted Kravis on Sky. It's something about he was kind of worried. He I believe he said that Vettel had brought his kids to Austria, which he's never done. He never brings his kids to any races. And I know that he brought him to one other race when one of the F1 photographers had mentioned that Seb came up and asked him to do him a favor. He goes, "Oh, you want me to take some pictures of you with the kid?" He goes, "No, I want you to not take pictures of me with the kids." He didn't want any of his kids in photos that were distributed out. And he said, "Sure, no problem. I respect your privacy on that, not a problem." But Ted Kravis had mentioned that he brought his kids. And he wondered, like, gee, was this like a change in Vettel, or was this like some sort of a sign that this might be the last year? So he brought his kids for the one last Austrian race, which might be the closest to to Germany, for a race. And it was kind of like just a throwaway line. It was like, okay, it was like something that that got stuck in anyone's craw. I remembered it, but I didn't really think about it. And then this happens, and then at first it's like, okay, well, okay, fine, he retires. He's kind of like this. He's kind of like the mentor to Mick Schumacher. Is he going to talk to Lawrence like you want to bring Mick over? Now again, you got a problem because it's Ferrari, and he would have to Ferrari Driver Academy may or may not be pleased with him at this point because he hasn't really shown what they were hoping he would show. Though it has been in a Haas, and a Haas is what a Haas is. Though Magnussen has kind of outshone him this year, which is kind of been a problem for him because he really has, shown that Magnussen is faster than him in that car. Though he finally scored a point, and he seems like he's maybe turned it around after Britain when he scored the points. He actually held off Max to score, I think, fifth or sixth in that race. So that was obviously his best finish. So you never know. Maybe Aston Martin would pick him up. But the whole Fernando thing, because there had even been comments that I'd seen that it was exactly what you said, where Otmar said, well, yeah, we hadn't done a deal, but, it'll take 5 or 10 minutes where that, to finish up the deal with Fernando. It's pretty much a done deal, but just haven't put any, pen to paper yet on it. And it was just like, nope, evidently not. But yeah, Fernando, like you said, Fernando likes to do that. I believe Fernando also likes to sign large checks. And I think that might have been some of the motivation. I think you're probably correct on the amount of money. That's what do you actually know any, or have you heard any specifics? I haven't heard any. Yeah.
no,
Okay. I haven't heard
I
any
haven't
specifics
heard.
either on what it was that tempted him away from Alpine. I mean, like you said, they were like, okay, well, we had 3 drivers going into 2 seats. Now we have 2 drivers going into 2 seats. And then when that release came out without a driver quote, that kind of made everyone scratch their head. And like you said, as soon as Piastri woke up in Australia and said, "Yeah, no, I haven't signed a deal." Now, for a little bit more detail, as far as what I have heard, and let me know because you seem to have a little more details on some of these things than I do. My understanding is that the option for Piastri expired at midnight of Sunday of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and they did not get a signature on. They did not provide him a signature or a contract to fulfill the option that they had. And secondly, their exclusivity with Fernando also expired at exactly the same time, midnight on, I think it was the 31st of July. And which is why they were which to me, whoever negotiated this contract was an idiot. There should have been some overlap so that if Fernando does walk away, you've got a day or two at least to make sure you sign Piastri. Even if you don't expect this to happen, anybody who's writing a sound business agreement would have said, okay, let's give us some leeway if something odd happens that we don't expect. Is that your understanding of the contracts or?
So I heard the rumors circulating like that. Obviously, we don't really know how those
Okay.
contracts really looks, but that's how a lot of people picture that image. And to just add spiciness to this, we know that Mark Webber, who's the manager of Oscar Piastri, is a good friend with Fernando Alonso.
They
So
raced each other when they were in F1, yes.
yeah, so they may have been like informing each other how to like
Colluding.
colluding. So that would be like very, very Alonso move. And also like he told he told Otmar that he's going to for vacation on Greece. So like the next day,
Mm.
Otmar was saying that he cannot contact Alonso because he's like on the yacht on somewhere in Greece. And a couple minutes after Piastri's announcement, he was like smiling on Instagram and tagging himself in Oviedo, his like hometown in Spain.
Oh, so he didn't. Oh, so that was a whole fib. He didn't go to Greece.
Yeah, so he
Oh, I
basically
didn't know that. Oh, that's good. That's good.
and
That's yeah. That's Fernando-ish.
that was Fernando, and it was just like it was
Yeah.
very funny.
So from there, okay. So we think we already got the crazy done, but from there, then what happens?
Yeah, so now everybody figuring, okay, so where Piastri is going,
Yeah.
and the only place that makes sense probably is McLaren. But
But Daniel,
McLaren,
but Danny Rick's got a contract for next year.
but McLaren has like two drivers. They actually have five drivers.
Yes.
And yeah, Dannery contracts is written in very good way that he's the only one that has the right to cancel it earlier. So of course it's all rumors, but the running rumor right now is that Danny Rick put the price on this early cancellation, and it's 21 million euros, dollars. I'm not sure. A lot of
They're
money.
almost the same right now, I think, so it wouldn't matter. But yes, that's
Yeah,
my
exactly.
understanding. Yeah, I've heard the same number, which from my understanding, from what I've also heard, is that is what his salary is. That they basically he wants a full payout. He wants
Yeah,
100% of what he's supposed to get for next
yeah,
year. And yes, I heard the same thing that basically because they were so eager to get him last year or year before last when they signed him, that yeah, it's a Danny Ricciardo favorably written contract. So he's got the levers for that stuff. And actually, I think he had an out for, if they don't perform and stuff. And I don't think
yeah.
McLaren had anything other than I will agree to drive here and you will pay me under these terms. So yeah, so he wants 21 million. There's, remember Danny Rick did leave Renault to go to Alpine, and which was Renault in those days before it became Alpine, which is it's the same thing, but just different livery now. And there is a question that could he go back there to fill Fernando's seat now that Fernando has walked away? I don't think they were happy when he left. He didn't break a contract. He had a 2-year deal and he left when his deal was done. But would they still be willing? It's a different change in management now. It's not the same people. It's Otmar running it now. So do you think he's got a place to go back to Alpine, Renault?
Well, Otmar said that if they won't be able to secure Piastri, then of course they will be interested. And now all the things went to like contract recognition board, and funnily enough, uh, the board recognized that Piastri's contract with the unnamed team is valid, but
Okay.
also Alpine's claim for Piastri is also still valid. So
Oops.
so things will end up in court most likely. So we now it's gonna get very quiet because at the point that the court and lawyers are getting involved, everybody's probably just uh, shutting up, and we won't learn anything until something officially is getting settled. So there's probably a lot of talks back and forth right now, even though everybody should be on vacation.
Yeah, no, exactly. Two things that I'm kind of curious, or about this, kind of separate from actually what's gone on. One is I found Omar's responses and comments to be kind of a little. I'm not gonna say unprofessional, but it's kind of amateurish. And he doesn't. He's not really sounding too rational, and it's not like I don't know. If I was a guy, if I owned Alpine, I wouldn't want this guy saying this type of stuff. It's not wrong and it's not, inflammatory or anything. It's like, dude, you didn't seem to do a good job. I'd shut up and not really try to sit here and point the blame. You kind of screwed this one up. Now, maybe the contracts were there before he came on board. He's only been on board since earlier this year, I believe. So he didn't write those contracts and didn't approve them. I would throw someone else under the bus if I was him, if that's what it is, and they really were dumb enough to have both contracts expired exactly the same time with no overlap to where they could basically secure the other person if something did happen. And also, I find it interesting. It seems like Zach Brown's getting a lot of flack too, as far as he's this guy that just this driver driver whisperer who just signs all these drivers up for these contracts. And like you said, they've got 5 guys going into 2 seats. Let's also not forget that on the America, on this side of the pond over in America, Pillow is McLaren is going to wind up in another contract dispute with Alex Pillow, who Chip Ganassi, who he currently drives for. Pillow got lured away to McLaren IndyCar program, which again might have eventually have gotten him into a F1 car at some point. Now that unless they're going to have 2.5 more teams, probably not. And Ganassi is claiming similar to like what Alpine is claiming, that they've got a valid option on Pillow, and Pillow says no, he's going to drive for McLaren. So that's again the 5th driver that you were speaking of, and they may wind up in court in America on that because Ganassi is very upset and claims that he's got a legal right to Pillow too. But with both of those statements, I mean, what do you think of both of the team principals and what's gone on with them in this situation?
Yeah, I found it like very interesting because I remember that the IndyCar situation, like even though I'm not actively following, but it still reached me. So
Yeah,
I was like, it's basically second time, very similar situation, and the same team is involved. So like
yeah,
something is very, very weird how they maybe approach their, I don't know, contract or driver lineups or something like that. So yeah, it's really weird. Zach Brown is also sitting quiet, so we don't know. I I don't think that's like, as you said, Otmar probably was not really that much involved in the whole contractual thing. He's mostly running the technical aspects of the team. I was much more surprised by the tone of that Piastri tweet. He's just a young kid. Yes, he's very, very fast. He won 3 series in a row, but he doesn't have currently F1 seat, as far as we know. And he's sending such a inflammatory tweet instead of just shut up, keep quiet. If that's the case, wait for like official announcement of your new contract. But this way he's sending like kind of very mixed message that he's maybe not very grateful and not behaving nicely, and I saw a lot of like maybe negativity about it, and it would be like really, really not fun if he would end up without a seat. But in some weird way, it could end up happening actually, and that would
yeah.
be,
You could have thrown away a guaranteed seat
yeah.
for not. And the thing that's well, one of the things that's odd is on Fernando, or actually let's finish up and then go back to that point on Fernando going to make. Yeah, it is odd because McLaren may say, you know what, we don't have a spare $21 million to give Danny Rick and pay you next year, so and again, the question is, what does the contract say? Does it guarantee him a seat? Is it just a driver contract where it's a best efforts type of thing or not? So yeah, he may wind up as the third, fourth, or fifth McLaren backup driver, or first, second, or third McLaren backup driver, shall we say, third, fourth, or fifth in the whole squad there, because they may decide that what. Yeah, and the question I had too is, because it's not technically a driver's salary, does the Danny Ricciardo 21 million go against the budget cap or not? I know it's driver salaries don't, but is a contract settlement a driver salary?
So only things that are related to car performance plus some number of like executive salaries count
Right.
towards the cap. So
Yeah.
driver salaries and all that, as you said, driver salaries not, and I think it's just gonna be used as a driver salary, but
Okay. I
who
was just
knows?
curious. Yeah, I was wondering if
Yeah,
I was just wondering if McLaren was going to take a hit for that if
yeah.
they had to pay them out if someone's going to try. Well, no, that's not a driver salary because he's not driving for you. That's a
That would
legal
be like
settlement. So.
that would be just another funny spin to the story.
Oh, it would be exactly, yeah, yeah. I'm looking for the most humor to mine from this thing as possible because it just really is. That's why they call
Yeah.
it silly season. On the Fernando thing you talk about, again, Fernando being Fernando burning bridges. Obviously he's doing this to me. He's obviously doing it for the money because, look, I mean, you would have thought he would have talked to Vettel and say, look, I left for a reason. Yeah, I've got kids and stuff, but like you said earlier, I don't necessarily want to go be 17th in every race. With maybe opportunities to be ninth if I'm really lucky and 6 cars crash or something. And I can't see Fernando at his age, if he's really in this for titles, this is not the move to make for titles. So it's got to clearly be a money thing, right? Or am I missing something here?
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I think it's for me. He mostly like he clearly enjoys racing right now, and
Yes.
maybe he just want to stay longer. And you know, he probably understand that there's a lot of money going into that team, and maybe they will start paying dividends in a year or two, and he hopes to like get some out of it. And worst case scenario, he's just gonna have like a nice retirement money, and
Maybe he
maybe
can take the Greek, maybe he can afford that Greek vacation now with the extra money coming
yeah,
over. Yeah, that was the thing. I was just kind of like scratching my head. I mean, I was trying to make it look. I was trying to rationalize it as not a money grab, but I'm having a hard time doing that. Then again, I wasn't. I didn't take into account the fact that Alpine really was only looking for him to do a 1-year deal. I thought he was going to get a 2-year deal at Alpine, and that they were just going to make Piastri just keep waiting until, or because also there's talk. There also had been rumors earlier about Piastri being loaned out to Williams with Latifi getting the boot possibly, and that was where they could place Piastri for a year or two until Fernando was going to finally take that vacation to Greece permanently and not come back. But yeah, so that was kind of what I was was wondering. That I just didn't really have a good grasp of you know Vettel left for a reason, and I'm sure the kids were part of it and the bees were part of it. But it finishing towards the back of the pack all season long might have been part of it. Why would
yeah,
Vettel want to jump out of the fourth place car into a car that ain't going to be pardon my French, ain't going to be fourth place next year more than likely?
yeah.
So
You
that
mean Alonso? Yeah,
yeah. Fernando, excuse me. Yes, exactly. And then that's where I was confused. So this is only going to get sillier at this point, more than likely, because Latifi's
um,
situation doesn't change. It still seems like he's going to get replaced. Who's going to
yeah.
get that? Who's going to get that seat? One of the guys that may be in line from what I've heard for that Alpine seat is Hulkenberg, who's possibly the
Mhm.
best guy out there that doesn't have a drive right now. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those titles you could probably slap on a number of people.
Yeah.
Um,
Who do you think is gonna get that Williams seat?
that's a good question. I don't know. I haven't heard any rumors besides um, that other than Piastri being loaned to them. I mean, there's what's his name, the American Logan Sargent. Hogan,
Sargent, yeah.
yeah, Sargent. He's doing well for them. He had an unfortunate incident in Hungary, which hurt him. But I don't know as far as giving out super license points. Does he have to win the title to get enough points to get a super license to be eligible for that seat? I know that they're going to test him at the Abu Dhabi test, I believe, for Williams. Um, and they actually did. McLaren actually did test just before the break. I believe they did test Colton Herta at Portimao in a 2-year-old car. And I also believe isn't Colton also set up for a young driver test at Abu Dhabi too for McLaren? I believe.
I believe so too, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But as far as Williams, no. I mean, what have you heard on the Williams scene? I've heard nothing.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything solid either,
Okay.
but just as you said, like Sargent's position is not, it's complicated from the super license
Yeah.
points, because basically how the system is constructed, it was introduced after Max Verstappen got into Formula One as a 7-year-old without even regular driving license. They figure out that we need like maybe people being like out of adult age, which in Europe is considered 18, and and you need 45 super license points, and this is like amount of points you get, for example, for winning F2 title,
Yep.
or like if you win like F3 and take like I don't know third or fourth spot in F2, that's also like enough points to get super license and so on. IndyCar has some amount of super license points.
Yeah. They don't. Yeah. Any car doesn't. in my opinion, it doesn't get a fair shake on the,
I agree.
which has been a hindrance is to get young IndyCar drivers into F1. But
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
it's basically treated as like even like sport that's like less significant than Formula 3, which
Yeah,
I think is just basically unfair and like
yeah,
very. It's basically like the reason they're doing because they want to promote their own pipeline
yeah.
that they're owner of both F2 and F3 and they want to just
Well, they have their
demand
feeder series they want people to go through, and that's what it is.
exactly.
They want you to
So,
come into F3, then to go to F2, and then you can get yourself an F1 seat. And
so
traditionally, that's how a lot of the drivers done it. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so just basically so the money flow through their organization and not through like.
I wasn't looking at it
Yeah,
that way, but yeah, that there are certainly financial considerations that support those decisions. You are 100%
yeah.
correct. So, one of the other things that we've had that's come down in this off season of 3 weeks has been the 2026 engine regs have come down, along with Porsche formally, which was I don't know this wasn't much of a thing. It was just but Porsche formally signing to be basically announcing a partnership with Red Bull. But also one thing that I don't know if this had come down or if this had been something that had been already done is Honda also is kind of officially coming back as the engine provider for Red Bull. Now, they already were kind of Honda engines, but they were basically coming from Honda. I mean, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Red Bull Powertrain, which is the Red Bull engine division, had bought the IP at the end of 2021 from Red Bull, from Honda on the engines. Now, they were Honda hired people that they brought over, and Honda was still, my understanding, was casting the blocks for the engines in Japan, and they were shipping them to the Red Bull powertrains, and ex-Honda employees and or contractors, depending on how you looked at it, were assembling the engines and building them. But Honda had transferred the IP to Red Bull, and now that's going to stop, and Honda is going to be the official supplier, which means the engines will be built and completely 100% and sealed in Japan and shipped as sealed completed units. And only Honda employee engineers will mess with the engines and calibrate them. And Red Bull Powertrains is now longer going to be allowed to open them up.
I
And
think it's it works a bit differently because
okay,
Honda had a part of the team in Milton Keynes
right.
next to basically Red Bull factory, and that's the part that the Red Bull bought and formed
Hmm.
the Red Bull powertrains
Yep.
together with some stuff and the IP, as you said. But even since like Red Bull took over the engine division, they were not Red Bull Honda this year. You could
Right.
see like a small HRC logo on the engine cover, Honda Racing something company.
Yeah.
And this is basically the Japanese part of the company that still does some of the production, some of the service, and basically like some services, like running some performance tuning and so on. So I was still involved. It was just not involved by the name. And part of that was because Honda wanted for some time isolate themselves from like the combustion engine sports and so on and move more towards
Right. They
other
want a
things.
greener. Yeah. They want to be able to put a greener spin on it.
Yeah. Uh, and this agreement basically increases the time of it. So basically, until the end of the current regulations, they will keep that support of HRC, Honda Racing Company. So they're still going to be badged as Red Bull powertrains. It's going to be Red
Hmm.
Bull
Okay.
powertrains, Red Bull Racing, but they just secured that support from the Sakura company, Sakura, you know, like kind of part of the engine division. So they have support of with those engine until Porsche comes in 2026 with the new engine and they
Yep.
will work together. So I think that's what basically this allowed. This gives Red Bull the support of the engines until the end of the current era. Uh, with Porsche, like I don't think it was actually announced because I may have missed that part, but we've seen already that we know from the paperwork that leaked that basically Porsche was going to buy half of the Red Bull Racing,
No,
and
was it
they're
Red Bull Racing or was it Red Bull Powertrains?
I don't know. I
Okay. Yeah,
think
I didn't either. Okay. That's I wasn't sure of.
or
Okay.
maybe even Red Bull Technology. There's like
Yeah.
it's like it's less important. Effectively, it's gonna mean it's gonna be Red Bull Porsche, right? That's gonna be the
Yeah, sure.
title, and
That's yeah.
the engine is gonna be badged Porsche. Um, they will co-design the new engine, and yeah, it's we're gonna have a great racing brand in Formula One from 2026.
Yeah, I think Mike and Dustin are going to jump here in a couple of minutes. So let's. One of the things
Yep.
I want before they do, let's talk a little bit about the 2026 regulations. What's your take on the 2026 kind of as a top, as a top level view of the engines for 20, that are coming out that they've got the regs finally finalized?
Yeah, yeah. So we simplified engine a bit because we removed the very cumbersome MGU-H. So
Yep.
basically, the part that was extracting heat from exhaust and turning into electric energy. We gonna have much more energy regenerated from like regenerative braking.
Hmm.
So the kinetic energy regeneration, a much weaker combustion engine. So it's going to be like more like 600 horsepower and
Hmm.
around 350 horsepower getting from the electrical motor now. So it's going to be about the same power, just simpler engine a bit, but also much more reliant on electric power with more sustainable fuel.
Yeah.
Although I find the whole concept of sustainable fuel a bit of a greenwashing because it's
Ooh.
if you like look into details of it, it's like it's not great improvement, but you got to applaud any improvement at least. So let's not be too harsh on it.
No, fair enough. I'm look, hey, I whatever is. I'm not interested in the greening of it. I mean, let me rephrase that. I don't care as long as it works and it drives good racing, and hopefully they sound better because has been some of the knock on these engines don't sound as great as some of the old engines did in Formula One. So I don't, as long as it works, that's great. Yeah, I think one of the things that I think what you kind of mentioned is for those that are really technically oriented, the MGUH and the MGUK have both been condensed now into a single component, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's basically been knocked out. And same thing like I heard with the more regenerative brake, they're going to capture more of the braking and turn that back into energy. And it's going to be sustainable fuels. And we're looking at, yeah, I heard close to 1,000 horsepower with like the breakdown of say, we say, 600 and, 350, 375, 400 type of thing. I don't know how they're going, whether there's going to be a major change in the aero regulations or if they're going to move forward with the aero regulations. And I don't know when has there been any word on when the current aero regulations are scheduled to end, or are they going to continue through not on the same like lockstep with the engine changes?
I don't think they will interlock with the engine changes. They want to complicate it too much, but we'll probably will see like a small adjustment. Like we already seen some floor changes coming into action. We didn't have much time to talk about it, but it's cosmetic
Yeah.
change that's gonna be may have some effect, but I don't think it's gonna have a huge difference.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping we're going to do a F1 show next happy hour for next Friday because Belgium will be that week, and we can talk a little bit more about the floor. But I believe do we not have a Michael
What's
Zakay?
up,
Hey,
fellas? What's
man,
up?
what talk about reading a cue there. Hey,
We'll get Dustin in here too.
and
Hey,
Mr. Dustin Sandoval.
depending on the Belgian time, I think we got to run playback back again. Although it's probably at like 6 in the morning. Like
Yeah, it's going to
3.
work for you guys. It's not for it's not going to be West Coast friendly.
It's not gonna be West Coast friendly.
So yeah,
Maybe
I
we'll.
already have to get up tomorrow at 7 o'clock to do work. So yeah, I don't know about next week getting up
Yeah.
at
No, I
at
don't blame you.
6. So yeah, but yeah, I know the USGP will be a lot more friendly, but yeah, we'll have to see. Trying to think. Singapore might not work for you.
Listen, we'll make the sacrifices we need to make to get the content out
Hey,
there.
by the
Okay?
way, Mike, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Look like you guys had a great way. Look like you had a great time there, from what I saw, from what G Dunn leaked out.
Yeah. G Dunn was DMZing it for everybody. Yeah, it was really nice. It was a great time. It's a great time. Good to be back.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for carrying
thanks.
the happy hour torch for us.
Hey, no problem. Hey, I see
No
the
problem.
all day pack list the queue started moving. Did it?
For
From what I saw.
Yeah, it started and stopped like two or three times
Okay.
so far.
Yeah, I've been looking at it. I got hosed on my pack. I got a real low number and it failed when it came time. It said pack had already been bought. Yeah, no, yeah, I got a real low number. Took 15 minutes, and I got two-factor. I got the it sent me a text, which was kind of odd because I'd already been logged in. And I took me about a minute. I had to go get my phone, put in the number, and it came back and it said, "Sorry, this pack's been sold. Pack's no longer available."
I bet you'll be able to get. I'll bet you'll be able to get one.
Yeah, I put in a ticket. I'm sure. Like I said, I trust that Dapper is usually good about these things. I had a similar thing with UFC
right?
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, and they scored me away. Where they took care of it and threw me a pack, said, "Hey, yeah, we screwed up, and here's your pack." So
I'm sure
I got
they'll take care of you guys.
You know, knock on wood that they will. My only grouse was I was so low I was going to be able to get a second one. I'm probably not going to get a second one out of it, but hey, can't be greedy about it. I'm happy. I pulled a Destin. I got a Challenger mowing out, or no, what's the
you got champion? Oh
no, not champion. I got a rare
Challenger. Okay, yeah, because
I got the rare out of the drop the other day.
Yeah, there's Challenger, Contender, all that. Okay, all right, that's nice. It
was cool. It was a good surprise. So, because I've been kind of lightly, I got the zero set, and I've kept my zero set. In fact, I turned in a Chimaev and had to go buy another one to basically get that back to get for one of the challenges.
The challenge.
But yeah, so but I kept my zero and I've been dabbling in there, but definitely eager for all day.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's been a fun few days. So I'm hoping it continues.
So carry on, guys. We're going to turn it over to you, and let's look forward to a happy hour next week with Belgium, and we'll talk about flexi floors. I'm sure everybody is dying to hear about flexible floors.
Can't wait for the flexi floors. All right, thanks, James. Thanks, Michal. It's good seeing you.
Have a good one, guys. Congrats,
guys.
All right, later. Bye. Thank you. Man, love James and Michal. Good to have them both here for a little happy hour season. That was great. Dustin, what's up, man?
Welcome back. Congrats.
Good to be back. Thank you. And congrats to you as well. Celebrated a birthday, my friend.
Yeah, that's right. My birthday was your wedding day. We both had our own moment.
We did that on purpose. We did that on
purpose. Yours is a little bit more special and important, but that's all right.
No, it was really, hold on. I got to change the branding so Greg doesn't yell at us. There we go.
Do I see a little tan? Did you get a little tan?
You know what's so funny? They were saying that. I think so. We went back to my parents' house yesterday, and I was outside for maybe a half hour. And then when I came in, everyone was like, "Wow, dude, you get like a lot of sun."
You just soaked it in. Nice.
Yeah. So real quick, just as the chat is catching up on this, so the all-day queue has been slowed down a couple of different times. It's paused a couple of different times.
Yes,
and I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't done any content for the last couple of days, so I've been firing out some bullets. So I'm seeing a lot of people asking about this right here. So just putting this out here. The NFL all-day queue, Poke Pro Eric having trouble finishing.
The other one was great too. They're just purposely pausing it to see how Twitter reacts, which I think is A+.
See how everybody takes it.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Did you end up getting a pack?
I'd like to at some point. I'm 12,000 ahead of me with 14,600 packs to go, so I think I'll get there. And it sounds like it's two. You can get two per purchase, right?
No. So
they
it's one.
Changed it? Okay.
One per. You can get two, but you have to get back.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay, got it.
So I'm actually back in line for my second one, and I'm off by like 2,000 right now, and I'm just hoping.
I'd wait.
Hoping a bunch of people cancel.
I think you have a good shot. I don't think it would be canceled. I think people will forget. Like for me, there's a very high chance if I don't get this within the next hour that
while we're here,
yes, that life is going to tell me to put your phone down, and life spelled with a W in front of it instead is going to tell me to put the phone down and pay attention. So,
which I now understand.
Yeah. So I think those will be some of the things, but I'm excited. I made the cut for the drop. I tried for 2 of the UFC drops. Missed.
Me too.
Yes, missed, and missed the first one because I just forgot. I was in meetings at work, and it was right at the time to join the queue. So it's in that meeting, they don't really want people on their phones and all that kind of stuff. Right. So I just couldn't do it, and I missed it. I was bummed, and someone in the Discord tagged me on this next one, which is very nice. On the last drop. So I joined, but I missed. Not too disappointed. It would have been nice to try. There's some moments I'm excited about, but I'm still coasting off of my high of my champion club high.
You're right. Like you don't have to do anything else.
I'm in it. I'm still excited. The floor has risen by $120 on the moment. I'm in the green. So I just would like to get some ROI, look, that's where it is. That's the spot, right?
Dude, can I just say, so we got there because for a lot of you on the West Coast, On the East Coast, it was disgusting here for like 3 weeks. It was like
Sure.
98 every day,
Humid.
and it was gross.
Oh, yeah.
The 6 days or 7 days we were in Portland, it was like low of 60, high of 75. It was awesome. It was like the best. And then the second we left, it's like 90 today.
Oof. Yeah. Look, it's like 98 out here or something like that. It's been very hot, but it's dry heat, which I am team dry heat. The humidity to me sucks. It sucks. Like even in Vegas when it's triple digits, it's at least dry. It's dry heat, right?
Yeah.
And then in the evenings out here in LA, it gets nice and cool. Like you dip into the low 60s, even a little bit in the 50s in the evening. It's perfect. After like a 98-degree day, it's you can't beat it.
That's exactly what Portland was like. I was telling, but I do this no matter where we go. And Kelsey always makes fun of me. Like whatever city we go to, I'm like, dude, I'd move here. Like I'd move here.
Yeah.
But Portland was awesome. That was such a fun town.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. We just ate. That was like the only thing we did while we were there. We just like that's what life is now. It's just like from one
consuming food
meal to the next. Yeah, but it was
you know what? Enjoy it because once you've got little bambinos rolling around, you know what your food is? Whatever their fucking leftovers are, right? Like you get like half a McNugget, you get a bite of a cheeseburger and like 3 French fries, and sometimes that's your meal. Yeah. It's so enjoy the good food. You know, the other night we went out for we were at the She-Hulk premiere, and
nice. Which we watched yesterday.
So good, so funny. It gets bonkers. You have no idea. 4th episode, favorite character introduced. That's all I'll say.
Do me a favor, pass my headshot around season 3. Like get yourselves comfortable. You know, just throw it.
I'll say this. I've got an in with the writer.
Okay.
And, you know, she's I think a co-executive producer or executive producer on the show, but she's writer / creator.
Yeah.
And you know, the more seasons come around, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, but if they decide to make more, I could say, you know, I got a guy. No, I know a guy.
You know, just like a little voice of reason character, 2 lines and out. Yeah, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Just like, wait, what? And then that's it. Gone.
I'm gonna make you the mailroom guy.
I'd be a great mailroom guy. I've got experience. I worked there in college. I think I would do a great job. I've got some life experience. Patrick asked if there were good beers in Maine. Patrick, we had so many good beers in Maine.
I imagine there's a ton.
It's just like it's restaurants and breweries. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like crab cakes and football. That's like that's what they do. Yeah. It was really good. We went to Bissell Brothers. So our wedding venue was like right across the street from the Bissell Brothers. What's it called? Brewery.
Okay.
So it was cool. We went there. That place was dope. And we had Maine lunch. There's a beer called lunch and there's a beer called dinner, which is very confusing, but both very good. But yeah, we did. They have really good stuff up there.
Interesting. Really all right. Well, that's awesome. It looked off. It looked really cool.
It was
went
really
on stage during a concert.
Dude, that was nuts, man. That was so. And a lot of people thought that was planned. Like we did not know that was happening. That was all
so cool.
And it was during the reception. Like so our coordinator was just like, "Hey, let's go. We're gonna go." And so then we knew that was happening. So we're like, "Oh, we're just gonna like see them backstage for like a half second and then bounce." And then they're cool. So they just like pulled us out there and.
Greg was like, "Yeah, they just left for like 40 minutes."
People were saying it was 40 minutes. It was 10 minutes, but we have an outdoor space like that was a part of the venue.
At that point, who cares? You're drinking and having a good time.
I know.
Right? Like everyone's having a good time.
I know. But as we came back in, there was like cornhole at our wedding, which was like fantastic. So outside there was like cornhole. But it was great. It really was for as stressed out as we were for a long period of time. There was like no stress that day and it was a lot of fun. And I don't know. I mean, obviously you've done it. It's just cool when there's that many people there that are, you know, or part of your life at some point, right?
Yeah.
All in one place for you. It was cool.
Everyone having a good time. Yeah. At a certain point in your life, it starts to actually be a lot of fun going to weddings because you're like, I've known this person for a very long time and we're friends, and you're like, it's a different experience and you can kind of let loose and be a part of something pretty special. And either you've participated, so you know what it means, or you're on that path. So you're excited about it for you. So it's you look at it a little bit differently and it becomes a lot more special.
What was really cool too, and I mean, not to say anyone who was married at 25 didn't have this experience, but being in my late 30s at this point, like everybody there's nobody that's in that group that was there that I'm not going to talk to in 10 years. Like I've already weeded out that crew, right? Like there were 3 college friends there and that was it. So like the friends that were there are like my friends for life, which was kind of cool to do.
I would say that is great advice. And to anyone considering getting married in their 20s, I would say wait.
Yeah, just live together, have a really nice time. Like just wait. Just wait.
I think in your 30s is a better option for a myriad of reasons. But yes, I would say if you're thinking about it at 25, maybe wait.
Just wait.
Just wait. It's all right.
All right. So the people are telling us the line is moving. I'm going to show you where I am. Right. So I've got I got to close that gap though. I don't know if it's going to happen, but what we can do while we're waiting is I can open the pack I did get already.
Okay. All right.
And see if we get a Tommy Brady in here.
Oof.
What were your thoughts? Did you see all of the goodness that happened yesterday with the Pat Mahomes and
I saw the like launch, the launch, like it felt like a moment, which was good. Like it seems, I mean, I think this is what we were hoping Series 3 was for Top Shot.
Right.
But like, it had its moments for sure. I don't want to discount it. It had a lot of ups and downs. But it feels like, all right, the season's about to kick off real soon. People are getting back into football mode. Mm-hmm. We should be a part of this conversation as we're building, like people are doing. I'm getting a lot more fantasy content hit my way, like all of that stuff. People are gearing up. There's preseason, all of that. So it feels very much like we need to go now with something. And I'm feeling it. It's feeling really good. It's really smart. And it feels like it's well thought out and well planned. So I really hope that we can see that replicated for Top Shot when this basketball season comes around.
You're right. It did feel like a full moment, right? Like it was a considered effort to do all of these things on the same day, to be like, hey, we're here, we've arrived, which was cool. And it was funny. We were watching I said this morning, we were watching the WNBA playoffs and I saw the DraftKings commercial for what the thing they're doing.
Yep.
And it was, you see like Kevin Hart and like Stephon Diggs was in there and I think Odell Beckham. And as that was happening, I was like, man, all day's going to be doing something like that. And then it truly was like 12 hours later and they had their thing with Mahomes. I'm hoping that it translates into broadcast media at some point. Like the digital and social and player social, I think are the no-brainer, but you got to really start spending some dollars on traditional media, right? Like you've got to get some TV spots and like Sunday Night Football. Like if I were looking at it Thursday night, the first game, the kickoff game where everyone's like, football's just back. I'm going to watch it. I don't care what game it is. Even I have fantasy implications or whatever. I would guarantee that we have a TV spot for NFL all day in that game. And on Sunday and run it on Sunday. You're in this space and are creating digital stuff that maybe sometimes gets in broadcast as well. I think there's a lot of conversation that are like, well, that's like boomer media, right? And that
wrong.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to ask. So like, why do you think that type of, whether it's because and I made fun of the First Mint for this because they tweeted out like, oh, look, they spent way more in February on commercials than they did in July. And it's like, well, yeah, it's a fucking Super Bowl. But like, why do you think that still translate or why that still matters?
I think it signifies something big. Mm-hmm. I think it still signifies something big that I think you should have both. I don't think one is more important than the other. I think both are equally important, right? Like they should be on Twitter. They should be targeting anyone talking about football that day and hitting it with their all day messaging and have like social creative that they get hit with. So you can promote something that anyone is talking about the games and just trending topics that they get served a piece of ad creative. They should be doing that for Sunday. I think there should be ads running in Sunday football, if a few games or whatever. And there should be an ad running in the Thursday night kickoff to just signify something big.
Right.
Look, if DraftKings never had a broadcast commercial, but or FanDuel never did, and DraftKings did, you would maybe lean, okay, I think I'm gonna lean DraftKings because I get their social stuff, but I also see commercials on TV. I think that I'm gonna go with this one, right? Like there's just something that carries a little bit of weight to it. And I don't look, it's you can say boomer media, but everyone's putting on their fucking TV to watch it. Like you're still putting on your TV to watch it, whether it's Red Zone or what have you. Like you're.
I mean, we've
putting
all
on
seen the
TV.
DraftKings commercial of them holding the big fat check, right?
Yeah,
Like we've all
like-
seen that commercial.
And I wouldn't say that that's necessarily boomer doing, like, it's just betting, like it's gambling. Like I think NFL all day in terms of NFTs is there. If I've learned anything, it is a mixed bag of people of all age ranges. There is no way that you can say it is just Gen Z or just younger millennials. No, it's older millennials, and it's even older than that. Like there's
Right.
people that we've hung out that are older than me, and I think I'm very old in the space. And I think it is important to have both to cover all bases, because it is something new that I think a lot of late millennials and even younger Gen X's still have a grasp of. They understand this stuff. Maybe there's still some education to it, but it's not like, oh, what is that? I don't understand the Twitters. Like we're not talking like that, right?
Right.
So I think it can be a combination of, oh, that's pretty dope. I saw that commercial. That's pretty sick. Patrick Mahomes is in it, and he's talking about these moments. That's kind of cool. I'm going to look it up. Or people that are primarily on Twitter or something, searching for stuff, watching games, however they're watching it, and then getting ads served up that way and be like, oh, that's kind of cool. What is that? Let me check it out. I think they're equally as important. But what I would say is the broadcast media, I think, signifies something with a little bit more weight to it and a little bit more importance, and signals something that I think is, I should maybe pay attention to this. What was that? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think too, like, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. It signifies a thing. And I think it's easy for us to say, it's easy for us when we're already aware of the thing to be like, yeah, whatever, dude. You put it on TV,
Right.
put it on TV. Like I actually get most of my ads from Twitter or Instagram or whatever.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, I'm sure there is some truth to that, but I agree with you. I feel like similar to what we were just talking about with like the way All Day launched everything, it signifies a moment in time where this thing is happening. And yeah, I agree. Whoa, Terry, we got breaking news here. Terry, you pulled a Brady, bro? You pulled a Brady legendary? Wow, that's huge, man. That's because it's funny. He said, how much is it going for? And then Reed was like, Terry pulled a Tom, didn't he? There's no way he just asked that question.
He just casually is
he's like,
yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, I did. Terry, I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. Especially like we don't know what's going on with Tom right now. He could be on The Masked Singer. He could be in rehab.
I saw that.
Could be going through a divorce. Like there's a lot of weird Tom storylines out there right now.
I'm buying the Masked Singer one. I'll say that. I'm
that
buying.
one. Yeah, that is like the glass half full. I really hope that's what it is.
You want to know why I'm buying it? There was one thing in the thread that talked about it. He was going to retire. He was going to be on the Fox broadcast team.
Well, the Fox tie.
There is a thing called corporate synergy that many people love to do.
Funnel this guy into our
and then they can say brand new, like Nick Cannon is my Nick Cannon, but brand new official, the GOAT broadcaster for Fox Sunday Football, like Tom Brady. Like they will plug the shit out of that, and that will be like a corporate synergy tie-in. So that, to me, was a very interesting thing that made me say, oh, I could look, maybe we're crazy in thinking it, but the synergy asks that come in of people and talent like that,
makes it
you never know.
Sense.
Yep. And Tom is he's a pretty fun guy that I think he would try and do it. And he'd be like, you know what? I'll give me an out. I'll do it for a week. And then I'll just reveal myself. I'll just take it off and like be out. Like it's happened to other people where they just self-eliminate themselves.
Especially if you didn't know if he was playing yet, right? And you're just kind of like, yeah.
Oh my God. Don't list. So what are they saying? Don't list below 50K. It is the grail of the site. Wow.
I got to tell you guys, I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady is he is my childhood, right? Like when Boston started winning, it was because Tom Brady started winning. I would sell that so fast if it was going for that.
Oh, 100% without question.
Yeah. And then I go buy like 25 debuts and I would just hold on to that.
You know what I would probably do? Yes. In addition to that, I'd say I'm going to buy an autographed Tom Brady jersey that is framed and looks badass. And like, I'll buy that. And then I'll have that. And I feel like I have something cool. And I'll probably still have $45,000 in addition to it. Right.
Right.
Yes.
Because and that would almost cover half of the wedding.
Yeah, there you go. This is what I kept saying about like when Greg was talking about like he had moments and he had like Tobias Harris stuff. And I'm like, guys, Greg, you have a wedding. This can pay. I kept saying some of that stuff. Sell.
Kelsey did
Take-
that. She did that like 3 weeks ago. She was just
Yeah.
like, you know what'd be cool? $3,000.
Yes, that is it. Look, I'm debating that for my Kyle Pitts, and I think I'm getting really close to selling it.
Yeah.
And another one just sold for way below my lowest ask. So I'm holding the floor at least, but I wanted to inch a little bit closer to football season to see if I can squeeze out a few more dollars. But I think there's still a number I'm going to take to just at some point say, I'm getting over $3,000 for this thing. Like, it's
That's
cool,
great.
like pocketing $3,000.
That's
right?
great. I don't think you need to rush. I don't think you need
Right.
to rush, but like you're talking to me, and on the other line, if the roles were reversed, like I would do it already too.
So one of my thoughts is I'd like to sell it actually before the season starts. And I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? Like if he comes out first game and he's great, or if he has a first game and it's nothing, it's like a 40 yards, 4 catches, nothing crazy. People will still believe in him, but I just worry about like injuries. Like football is a ton of injury. I had Derrick Henry last season, injured, done for the season for like after week 6 or whatever it was. Cam Akers injured before the season even started, and he was off a promising.
Well, they fall off a cliff, man. Like
yes, and I've been reading a lot about him that people just think that Pitts is going to be the best tight end in the history of the NFL. Like I've been reading real sites saying that, so I'm like, okay, well, I think I got to stick around a little bit longer, but
you're in a weird spot. You're in a weird spot because I do think Pitts' like ceiling is so high, but he's got like at least for 1 year Marcus Mariota thrown to him.
Yes.
And but like say they suck this year, which they
Right.
will. Say they suck, they get a top draft pick and they get a quarterback. A quarterback comes in, and now Calvin Ridley comes back, and now all of a sudden he's not the only option. They've got that rookie Drake London, and now he should be able to eat. I love Pitts. I love him so much. But I totally get. I mean, you know how I feel about like legendaries in general, where I like getting I'm more of a debut guy.
Yeah.
That is his debut, right? That is his...
Maybe I'll sell it to Real Red Dad. We know he loves buying the expensive
ones.
Right? He loves to spend the fun coupons. But yeah, it's his debut. It's like got all the badges, and it's only out of 49.
Nick says Team Hold should either have a question mark at the end or instead just change the team flip. Hey, I don't hate it.
Here's the thing: we like to flip to buy other things to hold. That's thing.
Right. That's right. No one's withdrawn. Reed. So the jersey, Matt, the jersey has been pulled for Tom Brady. How many Bradys are left? Because there's only like 29, right? Or 23 being ripped today. I'm also officially under the 2K window. So I started 3,500 behind. I'm now under 2K. We're trying to close the gap here.
All right.
We're getting close.
I love the way you talk about it. It sounds like it's a horse race. You're like, we're at the 2 minute mark. We're trying to close the gap. Like it's like you're commentating on an actual sporting activity, but it's just where you are in line to buy digital videos.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. There's only nine Brady's left.
Wow. And there's 9,000 people ahead of me in 12,000 packs. So woof.
Also, I missed this one, Jeb. I missed that. I apologize. Now it's down to 8. Another one was ripped.
Oh,
man. All right, that's fine. I'm a big Derrick Henry guy.
Yeah.
Dustin, what else has been going on, man? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
I will say that I thought it was just perfect team holdedness of got some people to take over shows, handle stuff, and it was like I'm not even gonna bother asking Dustin and Greg to do anything because
I thought you guys would all offer that up if you wanted to do it.
No, you know what? We're definitely in the thick of a lot of stuff, so it was just it was tough, and I wanted to even last week, but I just couldn't. Like we had talked about it, but it got very, very, very busy. Greg's doing a lot of She-Hulk stuff, and I'm working on a bunch of other stuff that has just occupied a ton of my time. And I've been in the office a lot lately, so it's just gotten
That's what
rough.
I figured. I figured. It was good. Yeah. We all took time off. You had your birthday, I had a wedding, Greg had to travel. Like we had to take some time off.
Yeah. I will say this though, if we can get into more nonsense, I finished The Bear.
Oh, let's go. Yes, Chef. Let's
talk
about The Bear. And how did we feel?
It was great. It was phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Like it is great character study. It is really cool, different type of filmmaking. It's there's characters you can enjoy, there's characters you can hate, like fucking Richie, man. Richie. Shut the fuck up, Richie. Like
the cousin, right?
Yes.
So
cousin.
Dude, that character, I have a friend named Brian who was at the wedding this week, and he's one of, like, to this day, I've seen a lot of very funny people do funny stuff professionally and
Mhm.
just like amateurly. Brian is the funniest person I've ever seen in my life perform. The second Richie does that first scene, I think it's in the pilot where he's just yelling at everybody out
Yes.
in line.
Yes.
That is my friend. I immediately was like, dude, you
Wow.
gotta watch the pilot. That's him, dude. Like, he's just,
Yeah, it was good.
smells like it was
Yes.
so-
You Snyder cut motherfuckers.
He's like-
And he's like pointing a gun at him while he's talking, but he's just like not mean. He's just like talking to him like that, like I was using
So
his
good.
finger. Yeah, he so many times throughout the series, I just wanted to be like, my God.
I know.
But it was just, that's how good his acting was.
It was so
Also,
good.
there's one scene that is phenomenal by the actor who plays Carmi.
Yeah.
This isn't spoiler. He's in a location and he's talking to people, is what I'll say. So as to not tell you where he is, but it is a one take scene that goes on for about 10 minutes long, and he's telling a story, and there are no cuts and no edits, and he has a shitload of dialogue to deliver in that line, and it is only his face in the frame, and he has a cadence to how he has to deliver things, because things go in certain very emotional levels where it's, you know, he's sad and he's angry and he's doing all of these emotions, and I'm just thinking, how do you prepare for a scene like that, and knowing, all right, like this is it, I gotta go. And what most people don't realize too is, like, on the other side of that camera, it's not just like 4 people standing around, it's like 40 people standing around looking and being part of it, and everyone has to be dead ass quiet for that scene, because it's not like ADR. They're using a boom and they're getting his whole scene, and also he's acting with a mic above his head while he's doing it. And the amount of lines he had to do in that scene is crazy. I encourage everyone to watch it and watch that scene multiple times.
So good.
It is outstanding to just, you disconnect yourself a little bit from what you're watching to just, my brain immediately went to, how did they pull this off? How many times did he have to shoot it? How long did it take him to remember all these lines, to do the emotional cadence of what he's saying when he's saying the lines? There's moments where he pauses and he takes a minute to like say it and talk about, like, it is incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
Between that and the second to last episode, which I think we talked about before you even saw it, which is just a one shot,
is outstanding as well. It is a crazy episode. So much shit happens. It is so great. Yeah.
And even if you are just like one of the ensemble, like not a main player, or I mean, they're all kind of main players, but like you can't
fuck it up.
Yeah, that's like, and for them to have said they only shot that 4 times.
Right.
That's nuts. I mean, that's a play. They did a play.
And you have to, and you're thinking, in my mind, maybe they're not thinking that, but in my mind, I'm thinking, I better not fuck this up. I better not mess up this scene. I better deliver my line right. I better not like flub or kind of bump something by accident. Like I just, so the amount of pressure on you to try and deliver in that sort of environment is crazy. Bravo to that whole team.
Yeah. It was incredible. Not that this is the same, but this is just to show like how hard what they were doing was. I was in a sketch team in New York, and we do like live stage sketches, and it's like a 30-minute show or whatever. And I had this like a beefy part in a sketch that had maybe like 3 or 4 different monologues. So the way that I like memorize, I know most of my lines that I memorize, it's like ping pong, right? So it's like I'm almost memorizing your lines so I know what mine are. But the monologues is basically in my head. It's like, okay, this is page 1 monologue, page 3 monologue, page 5 monologue. In the sketch, so we run it a million times, but then the show's live, and there's like 8 people on this team. So my words are indicators for everyone else of what we need to do for the rest of the show. I went from monologue 1 to page 1 monologue to page 5 monologue. I skipped page 3, and I'll never forget halfway being through the monologue, watching everyone else on stage be like, "Okay, fuck, how do we make sure that we get like everybody moving?" Because like all the blocking is fucked.
Yeah,
like,
right.
And that is for nothing and for no one, right? But then to think that like now raise the stakes to what they were doing.
Well, and it's lived with you. It's lived with you to remember that for just that. So imagine on that scale being like, I would just walk off the set and be like, hire someone else better. I knew I was a fraud. Hire someone else instead. cut me
quit.
from the show.
Oh, Garen says
Yeah.
down goes the one. I know. Sorry, guys. We talked about we're in
Yeah.
the actor's studio now, but Garen says
Yes.
the number one Brady. So what are we down to? Like 7 now? 7 Brady's?
Got to keep some in my pack. I got to get in
Mm.
there. Come on, guys, hold it back for that. I will also say that Richie, the cousin, is in the
Girls, right?
upcoming.
Upcoming.
He's in the upcoming Star Wars series Andor streaming on Disney Plus September 21st. So if you're a fan of that show, The Bear, and that actor,
Solid ad read right there.
he's in there. I'm just saying. So, but that's I caught up on that. I caught up on if we're still talking like nonsense like that. I 2 eps into Blackbird, which is really good. It's a little more retail. It's like good. Like it scratches like you were saying that Mindhunter kind of itch. And but it's well made, and Taron Egerton is like, he's very charming and easy to watch on screen, and he's yoked as shit, which is crazy.
What is he is yoked as shit. What is
So
he from
yoked.
again?
He was in The Kingsman. He was in that series. He was like the lead in that one, and he was in Elton John. He was in the Elton John movie.
That's what
Elton
it
John.
is. That's what I was thinking. He's excellent in this. He really is.
Yeah, he's
really
great. He's a great actor.
Kelsey and I are watching this wild thing on Peacock right now.
Okay.
Called The Resort. And it's with William Jackson Harper, I think his name is, right? He's the dude from The Good Place.
Yes. I don't know if that's his name. But I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's William Jackson Harper. Kristen Milotti, is that her name? Kristen. She's from she did Palm Springs with Andy Samberg, that Hulu movie.
Really good.
And then it's the dude from High Maintenance is in it. And then it's a bunch of other whatever. So it's like this comedy / mystery where they go to a resort and then all this weird stuff happens. I had never heard of it before.
Okay.
There was no advertisement that I saw. We went on to Peacock to find something else. And
you know what? They're probably created the show, and if it pops, they'll allocate some money to say, all right, fan the flames. It's getting some notice. Yeah.
It's good. And there's like too many good people in it for it not to be good.
Right.
There's a dude from Narcos in it, and I'm blanking on his name. He's fantastic.
Okay.
And it was just so weird. Like there was too many good people in it for like no one to have heard of it.
Yeah.
And for it to be, I mean, no disrespect, Peacock. Listen, you can whatever. We'll come by, whatever you need to do. But I was just very surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. There's so much content that it's like, look, we don't have budget to support everything, but hey, if it starts gaining steam, we'll throw some dollars behind it and do a little bit more. That's probably the approach. But yeah, I find that for like Apple TV a lot. Like I feel like they don't
plug anything.
No,
except for the morning show and Ted Lasso.
Yeah, they'll put stuff on their YouTube channel and that's kind of it. And then For All Mankind had a little bit. They probably had a tiny bit of a budget because it was like a third season. But it's like they can't do everything. And if it pops, hey, all right, get some of this burner fund and let's go.
I also started watching The Terminal List, which is with I wanted to say Chris Pine, but it's Chris Pratt.
Yes, I heard about it. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
No,
what is?
Yeah, you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it. It's like Chris just play monkey. What's the mouse death? What was it? What was the name of his band in Parks and Rec?
God,
yes, Mouse Death. Oh,
Death Mouse.
Was it maybe
Death
Death Mouse?
No. I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. Yes, we got Google. I'll look this shit up right now.
I'm gonna call out my boy DJ Local, who finished Justified, one of the greatest shows of the last decade or whatever. Phenomenal show. That was a recommendation by me, and he messaged me. He's like, "Hey man, I started. I'm like 3 seasons in. I was like, hell yeah!" Just Timothy Olyphant. The amount of characters, the writing is brilliant. It is a phenomenal show. Just absolutely fire.
Justified's great. Mouse Rat.
Damn it. That's it.
Steve, you know what's so funny too? Mouse Rat is like, I always joked, I'm like, dude, I want Mouse Rat to play at our wedding. Then Kelsey went back and found tweets about like Guster and like coming to our wedding and stuff, which is just so wild. Again, that happened. Steven's saying I gotta give Terminal List a little bit more love. So all right, I'll keep going. Terminal List and Chris Pratt.
And my man, Bagged Wine, For All Mankind. For All Mankind is great. If you're really not watching it, sorry. It's really good. It's really well done. I'm only into like the second episode of the third season, but there's just a lot to watch. But I really enjoy that series.
I also I didn't make anybody. I woke up early, like 2 days after our wedding, to watch the finale of Better Call Saul on like a small laptop because I was
Yeah,
so
you got to do what you got to do, right?
I
Like
was so
you,
nervous it was gonna get spoiled. Like
Yeah.
a season finale, sure, whatever. A series
maybe the
finale,
next morning. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
can't
that
spoil
one, the other thing too, that one trends I think every
Right.
episode they do, it trends on Twitter. And I for sure saw it trending that whole time.
Yeah.
So it would have been too difficult. And I know we like live on Twitter with everything. So you
I
would have,
know.
you made the right call.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other chaotic things, what other nonsense do we have to get into? Well, I think let me just double check this right now.
Trying to buy a damn pack here, but it's still going. There's what else? I don't know. I was looking at like UFC Strike. They're still working on like meetups and all of that stuff. And I saw for champion club members, they're looking at maybe a priority queue for certain moments, for certain drops based on who you have. It's great. They really kept pushing that San Diego one. It looks like maybe they didn't get it filled up because they kept hitting emails being like, there's still time to sign up if you can do it. Or so like, you know, I don't know who is in the Champions Club that is local to some of these venues, and a lot of them are like Vegas and international. So it's tricky, but I wish I would have been able to go to this. I just know that the upcoming Nate Diaz fight and Khamzat is going to be one that I feel like that's going to be one that they have presence at.
Where is that one going to be held?
It's in Vegas. So I'm in Vegas. I'm in Vegas the weekend before.
No.
Yeah, so it's a friend's bachelor party.
Tell him to push it.
It's Labor Day weekend. He wanted to do Labor Day weekend. So I know none of us want to do that. None of us. He's a nice friend, so I'm not gonna talk shit. But he's being heavily suggested to have it that weekend. And then our argument was, look, it'll be way cheaper the next weekend. Not only a badass UFC in Vegas, it's also football's opening weekend.
Right.
So we could just say, let's come back Monday and we could watch games all Saturday, Sunday, party Friday, Saturday, watch games all day Sunday. But yeah, I wish I could be like, you know what? I'm going to fucking go back because they're going to do something and it's a badass fight. But who wants to go back to Vegas the weekend?
You can't do back to back.
No.
You drive, right?
Yes.
You can't do that.
That's just lunacy. I do not want to do that. No matter how exciting it's going to be. You'd have to. I know, cool kids double dip in Vegas. I mean, I'd have to definitely bring the family out and then like make an event of it. But I don't even want the kids out there for Vegas.
Wow. Wait, Dustin says, who are you hoping is available at number 7 in the Pro Bowl team hold? Wow, I forgot that draft is like around the corner.
I think it's like on the 28th, right? I do have a list that I've been looking at.
Are we in the same league?
No, because you finished above me, or I was just terrible and I got put into like the second league, which I'm actually really happy that I'm not, because also we're not doing it on Sleeper, right? It's Yahoo.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of Sleeper. But there was I was looking at a list of some players. I even sent you some names I'm looking at. 7th. Let me see. Hold on. Let me refer to my little handy dandy list.
Yeah. What do you got?
And let me see. Maybe. Oh, I know. I'd like Justin Jefferson there if he can somehow get there.
Is Justin Jefferson getting to 7 these days? I don't even know.
Before he's getting drafted in the 5 to 6 range.
Okay, I've been doing a lot of underdog best ball. Honestly, too much underdog best ball, and I have a lot of Justin Jefferson, but I've been getting him at like 2, 3, and 4.
The list has like, you know, Dalvin Cook is right around there. I wouldn't mind taking a stab at Najee Harris. If I don't know where I'm at on like Cooper Kupp, I worry that these guys replicate some of what they've done.
Listen, we've talked about this offline, but white guys in their 30s, it's tough putting a lot of money and oomph behind 30-year-old white men.
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking at some guys, but I feel like this year I'm definitely more prepared. I will say I'm not as prepared as many other people are, but I'm more prepared than I have than the previous season. I'm usually pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But the last year was just like a weird one, but I'm excited about this season.
I have done an ungodly amount of underdog best ball drafts.
I'm gonna have to do some underdog best ball drafts for sure. I think I'm gonna have to do some of those.
So starting I think in September, we're gonna start doing some underdog NBA. Once the NFL kicks off, we're gonna be doing we're gonna start a new weekly show that's going to be drafting some NBA best ball. Also, I don't know if you heard the announcement today. We're about to do a lot more content, Dustin.
We meaning all of us, or
whenever you're around, turn the camera on. Whenever you're around, jump on.
Yeah.
But for those that missed it this morning, we're gonna because I didn't want to take away from the basketball content.
Yes.
I like that we do basketball 5 days a week.
Yes.
So we're gonna start doing football 3 days a week.
I mean, we should. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm home.
Yeah.
Might as well do it.
Yeah. Well, look, there's a lot of things that you can involve yourself, not only with All Day, but with Underdog and all of these different options to talk about. Look, there's podcasts that do it like 7 days a week. Like there's plenty of stuff to talk about football. You can talk about the waiver wire. You can talk about, whatever it is. Like let's talk about the games that just happened, and let's get ready for the games that are about to happen.
And that doesn't even include challenges. It doesn't include Rumble, whatever TOC, whenever that comes out, and best ball and all that stuff. Jolly Joker season. I feel like if you see an OTM guy, give him a hug. They must be stressed the F out right now with the Jolly Jokers and having to push stuff back. So shout out to our boys. TJ Jeb wants to talk about the Masked Singer again.
I can bring it back.
Breaking news. We're about to hit the flippening here. I think pack number 2 is coming to good old Z-Boy.
All right. Are you do you have the other one? Are you going to rip it?
Yeah, you want me to open it now?
I don't know.
No. Yeah, let's do it back to back. Come on. We got plenty of time to hang. Where are you in line?
It says I've got 3,600 people ahead of me. So I'm getting a pack. We're
close.
Yeah. I'd like
what else we got? So many more sleepers and guys moving up depth charts in football. Yeah, because we're getting close. We're getting close.
Things are happening for sure.
Yeah. Got to do NFL. That's why this ain't Top Shot takes anymore. Listen, Jason, we had this conversation a long time ago, and that is why we switched over to Team Hold, right?
And for the UFC. And the UFC, we knew that was coming too. We want to be able to talk about that stuff, and it's weird to talk about unless you're TST, unless you're TSTAD ST.
Oh,
he's the only one who can pull it off.
So can we get Jeb didn't get a Brady. Can we get an update in the chat? How many Bradys are left that are available? I know that some aren't available, but are we down to are we down? Are we down to like 2 or 3?
Well, here's my question. If they're all gone and they've all been ripped, do you still buy a pack?
Honestly, that is a great question. I don't know. I think I still want there's a Henry legendary in there. There was who's the rookie? There was a rookie in there as well too. I still have that up. So there's still Nick Chubb, Mike Williams. Actually I'll share it. Nick Chubb, Mike Williams, Derrick Henry.
Could you make the font smaller so that no one can see it? There we go. Perfect.
We still got Chubb, Mike Williams, Henry. Okay, there's still 8 Tom Brady's left. Javonte Williams.
It shows how many are left still in there?
No, not in here. But
our chat. Okay, got it.
Chat.
Thank you, Bree.
And he said a lot of good rares, Tom. I'm going to push back a little bit. Derek Carr wouldn't call a good rare. Darius Slay wouldn't call a good rare. Although I guess it's his debut.
Packers rare. Do you want that?
People seem to really I don't understand it. I would love for someone to explain that. Who the hell knows why these team moments are worth as much as they are, but people seem to be pretty jacked about them. So,
I mean, if we pull one that's good news, we'll take it. I wouldn't mind that Jonathan Taylor rare.
Mm. Oh, nice. I forgot too. We still can't gift moments, but I paid for. Remember that pack I got from our man Royman?
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I think it's a bunch of garbage, but it's still my garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We had someone in Team Hold bought a pack for me, and they're like, "I'm just going to send you your money back." I'm like, "That's fine." I just don't care anymore. It's fine. Like a year later, it's all good, man.
I know. We need gifting. Back ASAP.
When gifting. I'm at 2,600, so I'm getting close. So if we can get it, I'll rip and go for it.
Oh, we definitely look at this. I'm still technically not getting one, but I'm very close. Oh wait, that was a big drop. So now we're down. We're down like 250 or something like that. But we're close.
No.
No.
Look at that. Yeah,
we're in. We're a 2-pack kind of guy.
But what was your original number?
1,600, I think.
Oh, okay.
1,600.
You jumped in quick then to make
Yeah.
sure. That's nice.
Yeah, it was a quick turnaround. All right, breaking news. TST got a Jameis Winston, a New York Giants melt, a David Montgomery, and a Jalen Ramsey. I don't know if
Okay.
he didn't want me to tell everybody that, but there you go.
Yeah.
Don't send me messages while we're live,
Yeah, man. Or just come on the show. You could always do
Or just,
that.
come on the show.
What are you
Come on
doing?
the show.
I wish I had a beer. I see you drinking. I wish I had a beer.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what's funny, too? I probably would be anyways because, like, this is vacation mode still. But it is Friday at like 4, so I feel good about it.
Are you guys going on a full honeymoon?
Yes, but not until May. So we
Okay.
have another wedding we're going to in 2 weeks in Chicago, and then like 2 weeks after that in Massachusetts. So we just didn't want to like plan a wedding and then plan a honeymoon and then have to like come back and travel a bunch. But we're going in May. We're going to the south of France, baby.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
little Nice, is that what it's called?
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna try to go to Monaco too.
You can go to the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I'm sure they're going to be debuting like my 2 lines as the
Yeah.
postman.
Parlez-vous français?
On She-Hulk. Like, bonjour, She-Hulk.
Yeah. I actually went there once I went to France twice. So I went once for the Cannes Film Festival, and then I went once because I was in London, and I had a buddy of mine who's from France, and he's like, "Let's go, come on over. I just take the train, 2 hours." So I took the train by myself, met him over there, and then he just took me all around.
Oh, that's
It was an experience. Like it is.
I'm really excited.
A lot of the stuff you hear about him is true. French people, in terms of like not like with Americans, I would say it is true. They don't give a fuck if you speak English. They're like, whatever, learn French, motherfucker. You're over here. So it's definitely a culture shock compared to like London is like whatever. Dude, that might as well be New York, right? With an accent, right? Like there's a lot of.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, there's like a lot of similarities. Like a lot of pubs, people hanging out. They like sports. It's this.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's not the case in France, but there's a culture shock a bit where you are, a lot of people just don't speak English. So you have to figure it out. You better get your Google Translate out. But it's cool. It's cool, good food, and if you like wine, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about it. Wait, this made me want to ask Dustin, was Disney like your first gig?
Yes. Well, I was technically a substitute teacher for a while. Like not first gig starting out, but like career.
First
yes.
career gig.
Yeah. Like I was a TA for a while at a school, and then while I was finishing school, they were like, you can be a sub if you just pass a thing called the CBEST test. So I passed it, did it, and I was a sub for a little bit. And then as soon as I started doing like a sub for like 2 days, there was a position open. They're like, "Hey, do you want to be an assistant?" I was like, "Yes," and I immediately quit and left. And
you started as an assistant at Disney and worked your way up.
So yeah, like a lot of people did. So the answering phones, getting coffee, laundry stuff, all that kind of typical Hollywood stuff. I started as an assistant. I was contracted though. I wasn't like an actual Disney employee. It's like like Greg did the same thing. He was contracted through another company, but worked in-house at a place. So you're there, but you don't get the Disney years added to your thing, and you get none of the perks or any of that stuff, which kind of sucked. But so I did that for about 5 years. And then eventually there was like a junior publicist position is what I originally started out as.
Wow.
So I did that. So
you've been there. Have you like how long have you been at Disney?
So including those 5 years where I was not an employee, or I was a contracted employee, 17 years.
Wow.
So 12 years currently at the studio under a Disney umbrella, and then an extra 5 as like a in-house, like working at Disney, but contracted. So 17 years total.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's a long time.
Yeah. No, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. A lot of people bounce around. It's been pretty good to me though. I've everyone can bitch and complain about certain things for sure. Like, but there's overall it's been good to me.
JK says the new Top Shot locker packs are you talking about the Series 1? Are those available right now, JK? Did they just say like, hey, we know we announced Tuesday, but we didn't like how NFL All Day got so much shine the last 24 hours, so like let's fire it up now?
Yeah, was there an announcement made?
Let me see. Top Shot made an announcement. Here we go. The announcement is live now, locker pack release. You can okay, so let's just find the full content sheets. And the locker packs, I'm pulling it up right now. I know I'm not sharing screen.
Yep. There's some Series 1 I see in there, Cam Reddish.
So 1% shot at a series base 1. Yeah, so there's some LeBron in there, some Steph in there.
I think Vince's TSD's in there.
Interesting. So
Vince
why
Carter
didn't they
drills.
say they were leaving that out on Tuesday?
So we getting after it? What are we doing?
I'll fire a couple of these. Let me see. I got to see what garbage moments I have right now.
So if you go to drops, then you could see it right now.
Yeah, you should be able to. Let me see something real quick.
This says it opens at noon on the 23rd though.
Oh, just the contents. Just the drop sheet. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad, guys.
Yeah.
JK's. What the hell, JK's? And then Jeb says the UFC challenge in 10 minutes. That's right.
I haven't had a chance to look at what that is.
You gotta be close to pack buying time, no, Dustin?
2 minutes says 512 people ahead of me.
All right, it says I'm 24 minutes, but I'm clear. I'm like 300 below packs available now, so we're good to go.
Okay. Man, there's a lot going on. Well, that's a fun announce of the things in there. Maybe Jeb can get his favorite moment, get a Vince Carter TSD, his favorite moment.
There we go. Look at Poker Pro Eric. Good to see Poker Pro Eric in the streets.
Is it though?
Yeah. What do you mean I'm off my yeah, dude. PP is the god just for allowing to get dunked on.
PP was so much fun at the Vegas event.
He was Mr. Long Drive.
Long ball, yeah.
Mike, what are you talking about, dude? Game's been great.
Line paused.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, mine doesn't say line paused.
Jason, I do not get Disney Plus for free. You have an option to get Disney Plus for free, or have a silver pass, which just gets you into Disneyland and like 3 guests. So
you got kids.
Yeah. And if you're not local to LA, like if you like, there's some people that live in New York that work for the company and they might choose that because they will just it's something they can immediately take advantage of, but
wow.
They don't maybe fly to LA as often or go to Florida or whatever, but yeah.
So, do you think you'll go after some of these Series 1 with some trade tickets? Do you think you'll fire at all?
I think so. Yeah, I did a few of the locker room packs originally just to go after it last time. So I have some garbage. I don't have a ton, but you only need 4, right, to try and go after it.
4 for 3 moments.
I'll roll the dice on it. I don't mind trying it.
Yeah, I would love to fire at some Series 1. I mean, the 1%, like as long as people are realizing it's you get a 1% shot, like as long as you know that.
Yeah, I don't know what else I'd use those moments for, to be quite honest. And I'm not chasing any sort of like big drop of a full Series 1 locker pack if they're still going to do that. Yeah.
All right. Mike's saying, doing some research. Looks like the guy who got the number 12 Brady is a well-known NFT collector, but not really a Top Shot or AD person. Actually, Dustin, have you been messing around with some non-Dapperoonies? Have you been firing?
I've actually just been selling a few things like on OpenSea and just collecting some ETH. I haven't really been buying too much. I've gotten some free mints and been a part of some things. There's one project that I got in and we got in, excuse me, I got in through, I think, Loser Club, or I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so I participated in it, thought it was going to be an L. It's called a Tomoverse. The art's really cool, but what happened in it, I thought, all right, I could sell back and just kind of break even. And then it started to go up a little bit, and I got lucky and got like a top 100 one, which was cool. So I sold it for double and got all my money back. And my second mint was a 1 of 1. So I got 1 of 1. Yeah. So I have that. I've tried to sell it for like a decent amount, but no one's biting. But if I can, I'm trying to sell for like 1.5 ETH and take that and just let it sit.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty cool project. The art's cool. And they're doing the thing where like you stake and they're creating a bunch of stuff in their own marketplace, like actual clothing that you will get by these invisible coins that you get by staking, and other NFTs that they're buying that you'll get by staking. Like it's pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, I have the 1 of 1, so that's pretty.
That's
good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
the 1 of 1 dream.
Yeah. Also the Pork Champs, baby. This is just a fun one. Like I like the people behind it. It's free. The art is cool. Like that's just like a, don't expect a huge ROI, but it's, if you like being involved in talking to some fun people with some cute art, that's been a fun project to be around.
What about our paranormies? Pump our paranormies back.
Oh, they're still going, man. Like I'll take anything. Everything is just down, right? Like I
Yeah.
keep seeing doodles going down,
Yeah.
and like everything just continues to, like, Wonder Pals has went down, like all of these things. So I think it's the market.
We need an update from our invisible friend G Dun and how those IFs.
Oh, I'd love to see where those are. I forgot about those, and I was really hurt that I never got one.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what they're doing. They had so much heat, and I think
they had so much heat.
They let it just die. Ooh, 1.85.
No,
is the floor for a basketball. 1.9, and the guys dribbling the basketball were pretty expensive because it was pretty desirable. 1.9 for that. That ain't bad. Their problem is they just never did anything beyond it. Now they're talking about like 3D versions of those, which is cool. But
yeah,
what does that do? Right? And they've got some merch and stuff. I don't know.
Did Greg hold? Is Greg holding?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's hold. He's team hold, baby. He doesn't get involved in a lot of that flipping action, but
that was like 10 ETH.
10 ETH was like 3K. See, this is what I was telling him, like, cash out. This is money for wedding, and I say all that stuff when it's a solid amount of money. And sure, I could have done that for doodles too, right? But I that was my absolute grail.
Right, you like really, yeah, you were.
Yes, that was my grail, and at some point, sure, I'm sure I'll get out of it, but I still very much believe in it. But when it hits a number that, like you're saying with the Tom Brady, when things hit a certain number that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cash out on this. Like if it's 5K, I can let things ride. If it's 50K, that's a different story.
Yeah,
I could buy 3 cars for each of my children for that amount, like 3 used cars, and just be like, hey, when they are old enough to drive, there's a car ready and waiting for them.
You know what though? I will listen to the capital gains conversation. If he's like, I need to wait a year, I'll listen to it. But man, 10 is a lot.
I mean, yes, you'll owe some stuff for there we go.
All right, Borland, you pulled a Danny Dimes jersey. That's
boom.
Yeah, I don't. You want me to?
Does that get like a tweet? Does that get like a tweet from the thing?
Yeah. Did you get pinged by a Discord or something?
What's the bot? What's the thing that says it?
OTM has a bot now. Yeah, Danny Dimes, number 8. Look at, congrats, Borland. That's huge, man. That's awesome. Listen, you want some real alpha. The New York Giants assistant general manager was president at my wedding. So there you go.
Interesting.
Want me to put you in touch, Borland?
Yeah, please.
Get NFL all day on the map with the New York Giants. Get Borland on the map.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? So that is the kid that I used to babysit, and
okay.
They came to the wedding, and when I saw them during like the cocktail hour, and he comes up to me a little bit nervously, and the dad was like, Cormac, I probably shouldn't out his name like that. Sorry, we'll scrub this in post. Do you want to tell the joke? It's a knock joke. And he was like, but if you tell it, this is the last time you can tell the joke. You can't tell this ever again.
Okay.
And he goes, all right, I'll tell him. So he's knock. Who's there? Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons who? Imagine Dragons D's nuts. He's 6.
Yeah. A+.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be like, Imagine Dragons who do this thing. And it was like, nah,
yeah, and it was going to keep going. No, it's Imagine Dragon D's nuts.
I'm in on that.
That was incredible. I couldn't believe it.
Oh man. So what's going on with this line?
I know this is the third time they've paused. Third time they've paused so far. I honestly get back in line because you're probably everyone's going to leave the line.
Yeah, maybe.
Next, Lenny Bruce. There we go. Shout out! Wow, Lenny Bruce sighting.
Yeah. I'd like to I'd like to rip this pack.
I know. You know what? I'll rip mine right now. Let's do this. Let's rip my first one. Oh yeah, this is gonna take a while. I forgot. I always forget to do that. Let's get a Legio. Actually, you know what? No, come on. I'll settle for a rare or a Ramondre Stevenson. I'd like a Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, that would be nice. I did notice that him in the pack.
Yeah, he's fun. Supposedly the Patriots are like shopping Damian Harris too. All right, let's see. Come on. This is taking. I forgot how long this.
Yeah,
took.
It's got to connect. It's got to do the thing.
Jeb said UFC challenge just hit. Did our nothing too crazy? I was gonna say, did our Sean's hit?
For
Sean,
which?
It's O'Malley, right? Sean O'Malley.
Oh yeah, I don't think they have yet.
No. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's get something fun here. I forgot it's 4 moments. We're just gonna reveal quickly. Try not to give anything away.
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey out of 7K. We'll watch the moments. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. All right, Jalen. Get a Jalen Ramsey moment. Here we go. Next, another comment. Ooh, Trevor Lawrence. All right,
boom.
We'll take Trevor Lawrence.
Got some badges too. Yeah, that's a win.
Yeah, not a debut, but we did get some badges out of it. Who's that? Is that DJ Chark? Who's 84?
What are those 2 badges though that he has?
It's his rookie. Actually, you know what? I still have that open. The badges are rookie mint and rookie year.
Okay, but it's not the all-day debut, but it's got those 2 at least.
Yeah, not the all-day debut. Wait, now it's saying
Is the all-day debut in this drop?
No.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Next up, we got another comment. Oh no, wait, this is a comment, I think. Oh, is this Ramon? Oh, Kendrick Bourne. Not nearly as cool. Although we do love a wide receiver pass. Is that N'Keal Harris? No, who's 15? Nelson Aguilar. All right, here we go. Last one. All right.
Ooh, is it legendary?
No,
that might be.
No, is it? No,
I don't know.
I don't think so. No, it's Jameis Winston. Jesus Christ! All day.
I thought it was.
See,
I thought it was.
And this is what I was telling people. There are a lot of L's in here.
Yeah,
but we'll take it. 36. We'll go to my collection. All right, we're out of here. And then let's see. The line is still paused, but there's clearly like more packs are becoming available the longer we watch this thing.
Yeah, everyone's dipping out.
Yeah. I think the Trevor Lawrence will be a good moment, though. I'm happy to have that one. It's like
that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Do you think what is that? Like $20 maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. I gotta see. Let me check the marketplace yet because I can't remember. What Trevor Lawrence moment is available right now because I think this might be his first comment. I think his debut might have been his debut. Oh, he's got a legendary that's going for 7K. And he's got a rare that's going for $9.90. So this is his first one. So people are saying Trevor gonna settle around 35.40.
Okay.
But you know what? That's why we get 2 packs. Always buy 2.
I just want to get one. Okay, 5 minutes. It says 4:22 ahead of me.
We're back up. Oh, we're back. What? Mine says more than an hour. What are we doing?
Oh, let me get this because I got to pick up a child. I got to pick up a human child from school. I
tell you get your pack. Hopefully, we'll rip it and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah. Let's see. 4:22 ahead of me. 6 minutes. It says now 5 minutes, but we got a breakdown of the moments. Winston 15, Ramsey 10 and 15 Bourne. Okay. I still think that T-Law is going to be a little nice hit.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking. That's huge, Milo. Borland with big dub. And I'm just happy to get some more moments. I'm excited. And so they made an announcement today because there was a little bit of a kerfuffle of are there more new moments coming to the platform, or is it just the distribution of like all the moments that are already made? And we're not getting more moments, so everybody can relax. I know there's some real concern.
You know what we can talk about here just to kind of as we're waiting for this to go through. It still hasn't went higher than 422 for me, so we're waiting. But we can look at the UFC marketplace because that got a revamp. which
Oh,
is nice.
thank God. Thank God.
Right? Look how good this looks now.
It does. Slick.
The filters, search for the fighters. You can just search this way. You can type them in, Pimlet. Let's do Patty the Batty.
Mm-hmm.
Brings them up. Boom, boom. This is a nice one here for 16. This is went up and down a little bit, but it just works really well. What I've done and has been great is like looking at the champion ones, because I keep trying to see what those prices are. What are they going for? Are they doing okay? It looks really well. It looks really well done.
It looks great.
Ooh, that Rampage. I didn't see the price. Always went down a little bit.
What's that? Which champion do you have again?
This one, Shogun Hua. So I bought it at 739. So it's still up.
Still up.
But he was at about 850, which was nice that he moved up. But look at the floor is 800 for a champion moment.
Ooh.
Let's see. Let's keep going. Look at the Matt Hughes. It starts to. This blew my mind that Machido's at 1300. I like Machida, but I thought 1300 was pretty expensive compared to like Shogun. I thought that was odd.
Are those all? Is Shogun out of 80 as well?
Yeah, they're all. Well, this is 80. Let me see. That might be a good point. Maybe Shogun's out of 99. Okay, yeah, that's probably why.
Maybe that's why.
Matt Hughes, Brandon Moreno, 75, 1350. Izzy, Aldo. I mean, you start to get into the iconic ones. Here's if you scored on that Rampage one. This is also pretty sick. This moment.
That's
Let's
a
watch
great thumbnail.
Yeah. We're waiting. Let's watch it.
Rampage with a quick chance.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. That one's so good.
Boom.
That's so good.
But look at the Lugs sponsorship. Remember when they had sponsors on their shorts, but Lugs, right?
Also, I'm learning right now. We were streamed on the Collective XYZ show. So Collective, thank you for checking in.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys.
But yeah, the marketplace looks much better now.
It
Ooh,
does.
look at like a little champion club. We can look at view my NFTs. Will it show it? Let's see. Do you get any of these hype NFTs? Mike, did you get any of these?
Yeah, I think I've got.
Please tell me you got
of them.
this.
No, I don't think I have I think I have the last Style Bender.
Do you know this one?
No.
Okay,
ahead.
then I'm gonna play it because it is worth the price of admission. There we go. Is one of the greatest moments.
I think he just took his pants off in the octagon. That's a new one for me.
Look at that.
I don't know why he did that, but he did do it.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off?
My balls was hot.
I understand. You came into this fight, the number 2 contender with that knockout. You're absolutely one of the top guys in line for a shot at the title next. So tell us what you think about that.
I need to sit my black ass down and do some more cardio. Fuck what you talking about right now. I ain't trying to fight for no title right now. I'm no gas tank like that.
That's fantastic.
How good is that, right?
That is so good.
Just sincere honesty, like, fuck what you talking about. I need to get my ass in shape. Oh, it was so
That's
good.
so good. That's so
Those
good.
little hype moments are fun. I'm glad they're doing it. It's like essentially free. Maybe they're not worth as much, but they're yeah. I understand. Yeah, it's great.
Ooh, Dustin, I think your camera shut off. We got that Pierce weird elbow thing for a second.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What happened? That's weird. Now it's this other one. Hold on. Let me see. What's going on?
It looks like the queue is back live, but not actually moving. Is anyone else noticing that? Let me get that Tatum. Oh God, that Tatum.
Future Laker.
Get out of here. Did you see Tatum was at like Draymond's wedding and everyone?
Yeah. Yes. Everyone's going wild about how he called LeBron my king. Like, why is he calling him my king? I thought that was a little sus. I don't know.
Yeah, but LeBron goes by the king. I get it.
You can call him the king. I don't know about my king. I'm sure Jeb felt some type of way. I don't know. I think my camera might have died.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's like you've been streaming too much. All of it.
Too hot.
It's not. None of them are coming on.
So I'm seeing packs available go down, but people in line ahead of me is not going down.
I haven't moved at all.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Concerning.
Nothing. This is very odd that my screen is just dead.
Yeah, it's weird. We're not leaving though. We're gonna figure this out.
I'm trying. is the quality content you come here for.
Zane says they're fulfilling prior transactions. That makes sense.
Okay.
So maybe.
Oh, like people who got screwed in the beginning. That might
Yeah.
screw you out.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, I'm still getting one if they ever reach me, but
yeah,
it's getting dicey.
I was gonna say, you think we call it here?
Probably, I think so.
Yeah, since right now I'm looking at an elbow.
Yeah, I know it's not the best.
I feel like we're interviewing the Richies right now on our show.
Rugging it, baby. Do you still have their number? We should call them back.
We should. No, I don't. I wonder if I do actually have that still in my email somewhere. Shout out the Richies. Apparently they like rebranded, did a new drop recently.
Ooh, let's get in on that. You got that alpha.
Gotta get it. All right, guys, we'll call it here. We'll call the happy hour here. Thanks to Michal and James for carrying the torch for the first hour, talking some F1 sillies. Good luck to everyone in the drop. Hope you guys have a good weekend. We'll be back next week with a shit ton of shows. Justin, tell Miles we all said happy birthday.
Absolutely. See you guys.
We out.
Well, the top streets are